Oh yeah. Are you ready? I think I am ready. Well, I gotta pee. Damn it. It's okay. I see you. Boom, 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 boom. Mob it, mob it, mob it, mob it, mob it. Caca, caca. Woo!
Are you ready? Call your mama, call your papa, call your friends. The festivities are about to begin. Boom!
Oh yeah. How about that? And you know what? We are live, like right now, on the boom. This is Jose JG in the house. I is here. There's nothing to fear. We are we are happy, happy, happy to be here on what's today? Thursday festivities. Hey, share the knowledge, man. Share the knowledge. I'm here for it. I'm welcoming anybody that have any new information about anything. I want to welcome you and tell us about it. Now we got the family frog populating a squeaky earth. We got lazy eye frog. He goes mobbit mobbit. Mama frog. She goes mobbit mobbit. And baby frog goes mobbit mobbit. I don't know why, but that's how they go. And squeaky earth goes like this. Are you ready? Isn't that a beautiful ring to squeaky earth with frogs in it? I think it's fantastic. I am very very happy. Illuminati confirmed. She's showing only one eye hidden behind whatever this part of the world is. This rusty bit on Earth. You know what I mean. I'm happy to be here with you guys today. I feel chilled, relaxed, even though I got so much shit like in my head on how to make it, how to push through it, and pay the bills and all that shit. But this is the few hours on the day that I just put it all out, rip it out of me, let it slide, and just focus on this, on having some fun with you guys, and that is fantastic. I appreciate you all being here with me. I see in the YouTube chat box there's some car pulling up in the neighbor. He gonna be probably hot micing. Hopefully they'll put loud music because that will fuck me up and I will get really pissed off. Sean Hawkins, what's up? Gary Way Benga. The first two people that I shout out. The BFFs. Real Cygnus. Charlie Welsh, Fred Bailey, RT96, Jumungus. What's happening? Truth Nerds, Party People, Brad Wegner, Balanced Truths, Matthew Hall, Farmer's Boy, Citizen 9. I see you all up in here. Jim's Mind. And Earth is life. Did I say Earth? Like Earth, fuck you. No, hey, no swearing. I'm gonna be shaving soon, probably later today. I'm gonna take a little trim it down around the edges. Hey, Martin! He made it. He made it too. I think we are right. I think we're ready for this now. Let me pop up in the Discord server and see if this is gonna work out today. Let's see how he's gonna do. I think I should turn my camera off while I attempt to do this, just in case. We got a new member! A member in the house by the name of Sean Hawkins. Hey, thank you very much, Sean, for your support. Appreciate it. Welcome to Smart. Sean is now a smart, responsible troll. I knew he's a troll somehow responsible, but now is confirmed, and nobody dared to tell me that Sean Hawkins is not, because Sean Hawkins is a smart, responsible troll. Thank you so much, Sean, for doing that, brother, for supporting. And I need to turn this camera off before it fucks everything up. Okay. Okay. Let me unmute this. Check 1 2, check 1 2. We are in Discord by with the company of Mars Mushrooms. He's here. What up? Let's see if he can hear me. C4 O Alem. I see you guys. Tusk. Andorra Nku. I did not see that Tusk Flatzoid's latest video where he hides a light behind a bucket. I bet that fuck is funny. And we're joined now by Farmer's Boy. I don't know if it's my audio. If Farmer's Boy say he can hear me, maybe his Mars Mushrooms is not ready to speak yet. Let's see. Can Farmer's Boy hear me?
Sorry, I was talking to you whilst on mute.
Don't see that. Okay, so you can hear me. You can hear me.
I could hear you, and hopefully you can now hear me.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I do indeed. Very
Sorry,
good.
I just got Flatzoid's video on pause. It's quite something.
Very good, man. Hey, I don't know. I mean, I think Flatzoid would be cool if we share that. All right. We can take.
I don't see why not. I mean, it's only a minute and a half long.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And we can pause it like halfway.
You can't hear me?
Okay. I hear you now.
We got you.
Okay, cool.
I could.
Yeah, I gonna need you to share the link if that's possible.
Yep, just bunged it in the Daily Boom.
Perfect. Very appreciated.
All right, it might not be right to start. I can't guarantee that because I was sort of halfway through it. But yeah, there it is.
Okay, I'm gonna pop that open, and then it's gonna take me a minute while it, everything get loaded and I share my screen with you guys.
Yeah. I'm guessing he did this at work because if I remember rightly, he sprays cars. So it looks like he's in his sort of spray shop.
Right.
I think it's a big old can of paint or something, or a can of chemicals or what have you, something to do with spraying.
Okay, I am Getting there. Let's attempt to screenshot over here and see what's up. See if you can see this today. It's tiny bit slower than yesterday. The laptop again. It's kind of catching up.
Mhm.
Feeling a little
It's
heavy.
doing it. Leave it alone. It's doing its best.
Frame rate share. I mean, I know it's not the best for you, but if I share with you 15 frames per second, that might be better for me for the YouTube, for me to stream a little less powerful. I mean, YouTube will see it in normal speed, and you guys 15 frames per second, it wouldn't be a big difference, would it? I don't think it will.
It should. No, we should still be able to watch it.
Yeah, let me try that. You let me know if you can click and see my screen.
Uh,
It's
uh,
still it's
um,
still getting out there.
it's still the.
I can say that it's beyond stupid. A bunch of deep shits congratulating him.
The dancing blue boxes. Come on, you can do it.
Is it loading?
Come on. I'm still getting the blue boxes. Oh, there we go. We got it.
There
We've
you
got
go.
it.
You got the screen
Yeah.
and you see my mouse now.
Yeah, see your mouse over the Flatoid's little
Very good.
icon.
Very good. Yeah, I just do this always, so you just don't end abruptly, but I'll stop it whenever it's done. All right, very good. Well, people on YouTube universe, this is going with special effect sounds in the background. Hopefully,
Florida.
this is the video that we are about to play. It is Flatzoid's new upload. I haven't seen any video of him in a while. I'm just stretching this intro with the sirens.
No Jose live stream is complete without sirens in the background.
So I will mute my audio for YouTube, but you guys can still hear me on Discord. They will able to hear you. They will able to hear you. They will able to hear the video, but they would not be able to hear me on YouTube. But as the only people that's not going to be able to hear me. Everything else is going smooth and normal. Here
So
is
they can hear me. They can hear me responding to you, but they can't hear you. Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yes. No, right now they can still hear me, but whenever I play the video, I'm gonna mute for YouTube, so they get it, so they don't get a hot mic from my end, in case there's silence. But you might get my hot mic from your end on Discord. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I got two mutes. I can mute in both Discord and for YouTube, but I'm just gonna mute my microphone for YouTube, so they don't get music or silence and shit like that. Yeah, everything is good. I'm ready to play it in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Yes, it is. Yeah, I'll do that anyway. What the hell? Here. Just mute it. I don't think he talks at all.
Yeah, I'm just gonna unmute for everybody. Yeah, that music kind of just annoyed me for a minute. I wasn't paying attention. I was trolling Farmer's Boy over here of Mike. I'm gonna go back. We're gonna go back to it.
Yeah, just mute it. Mute it. The music shit.
Can I just comment or ask a question real quick?
Go for it.
Why does Flatzoid not understand eye level? If something is above eye level, then it's gonna come down eye level. And
Ah,
he puts some sort of obstruction there, and it asks where did it go.
Behind the instruction.
yeah.
I mean, obviously, it whatever it was we're looking at, it was above eye level,
My
and
gosh.
the camera is below that obstruction.
He's trying to say that the sun appears to set due to perspective, which is bollocks.
Yeah, but obviously there's he's got some sort of board there, which is above the camera and above the ground, blocking the
My
light.
gosh.
Like, how obvious is that?
And he's just shown what happens in reality, that you're down low and the sun has set, and if you go up high, you can see the sun again, which is
Yeah.
what he's just done. He's just gone up higher, and oh, look, you can see the light. Yeah.
This is crazy.
I don't even bother with Flat Zor anymore. It's just
Hey,
pointless.
I know.
He's, he's almost on Gary's level.
Hmm.
And if you try and sort of talk with him in comments on his videos, he just doubles down, trebles down, comes up with more bullshit. He's almost impossible to communicate with.
Sean Hawkins, if you want to reshare that image, you say you shared a photo. The flazoid say is perfectly flat. I'm scrolling up and oh, okay. Right here. Let me pop up in this image. Yeah. Shout out to Flatside, man, doing flare experiments. The image should pop up any second now. According to Flatsoid, that blanket is perfectly flat, says Sean. How about that? What do you think? Is it that fantastic?
Yeah, I have to say, it doesn't look very flat.
Well, according to Flatsoid, it is.
Yeah, but Flatside, he speaks bollocks.
No, but he is science. Flatsoid is science. I don't even know what that means, but he is.
If you look at the floor as well, you can see it's curved. There's no just the fact that he's just shoved something in the way of his camera.
Yeah.
The floor of his garage is curved anyway.
Yeah, the floor is most definitely not flat.
That was something special. Very Flatsoid-ish.
In a sense, he's actually just done this, the same thing as like Brian tilting his camera up, except in Brian's case he didn't have an obstruction in the way, and then the camera under the table trick, and it's just the same shit.
Hmm.
Block it with something, then claim it's perspective.
Yeah.
It's just like I asked Chris Berry the one time. I actually asked him. It was a little challenge. Like, go to a basketball court and put your camera down at the end of the basketball court, and then have the flatness of the basketball court block half of a basketball, while the basketball is a foot above the court.
Right.
A while back, I was challenging Sky Free on their channel because their videos are, deceptive, lying bullshit. And one of the claims they made was that they could make something disappear inside in a basketball court. So I challenged them to produce that specific video. Still waiting. That's been about a year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah, good job you didn't hold your breath, eh?
So
Can't rush him.
I'm sharing my screen right now. Alkay, tell us about this curved floor that you think. Look, you can even see it right here.
Yeah.
It's just kind
Uh,
of bulgy.
shit, I'm the one there. Hold on.
The problem is he's got his camera right down low on the floor, and then he's got his light above this can of whether it's paint thinners, whatever it is. So as you move the can and the light further away, because it was originally higher than the
The
height of the camera,
dotted line
at
that he
some
put. Yeah.
point- yeah, at some point, yeah, that can's going to get in the way because if he'd put his camera at exactly the same height as the top of that can, that light would never disappear. It's like you know, lying on the floor and holding up a book in front of your nose. You can't see past it.
Look at that. What kind of
he's just
bullshit is
obstructing
this? Yeah.
But with the floor being curved, it also kind of just adds to the problem because he's claiming it's the same height.
Yeah, and now when he
he's moving
raises
it back,
the
but it
camera up,
isn't the same
magically,
height when he's
there's the
moving it
light
back.
again.
Yeah, you can
Just the
see
same
it.
as we get with the sunset. If the sun just appears over the horizon, and then you take that lift up to the top of the Burj Khalifa or whatever it is, you can see the bloody sun again. And he's just shown that.
I mean, you can see the floor, how like it's a
I mean,
slant
this is
type
like
of thing.
saying, oh, if your camera is buried 40 feet below the sand on the beach.
Yeah, it's
Beautiful.
So dumb.
and of course, yeah, all the comments on the video so far, when he's sort of replying to them, he's basically arguing that black is white. You know.
Let's look at some of the comments. Let me put the most recent ones. Let's see what some of the comments are saying.
Probably like all high fiving him as if he fucking proved something.
Well, you can tell
All
who are
agree,
flat
man.
earthers and who aren't just by the comments. You know.
Just gonna scroll it down little by little. Shout out flat so there, you got a
See
shot.
some normal people have jumped in.
Yeah. Where's Wally?
And it's where's Wally says yes, finally you can see that the Earth curve gets in the way and blocks the sun. And Flatzoid's come back and said, so you are claiming the Earth's surface is flat with topography? That's not what he said at all. It's like where's Wally makes a comment and then Flatzoid reads something else and replies to that. It's got something.
Who's got a TV on in the background? That's okay.
Oh, it's right. Yeah, so I keep meaning.
Arwin. There you go.
The sun is holographic. Yeah, righto, whatever.
When you didn't think when you thought the video was bullshit, then you read Arwin's comments.
Arwin says, hold my whatever it
Makes
is.
it even worse, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like, look at the total contradiction in what he's saying. Well, it's not in any actual position. However, it obeys the rules as if it's in an actual position.
You gotta love that, man.
Oh, fucking idiot, man.
Flat Earth, local sun, flat infinite plane. Suns go to around to the North Pole each day, creating aurora borealis, northern lights. What the fuck does that even mean? Yep. There's some of the goodies you got there.
And Flatzoid commented on that, and he said Antarctica is on the outer rim where the sun is traveling through. Have you ever seen the two suns before? Because I have. So there you go. Flatzoid's seen the two suns. And you thought we only had one.
Yep. That was Flatzoid SC video. The link was shared on Discord and also on YouTube chat box. Boom. And I leave you with the image of this very flat blanket from John Hawkins.
Wow. The derp is strong in this one.
Biggest Douglas, don't try to put too much thought into the guy that mentioned the Aurora Borealis, all right? Just done. They just put words together with things from nature, you know.
Do they have one of these random word generators? Or
Probably.
Generators? And you can put in keywords and it just sort of throws them all in and spits something out, you know.
Yeah.
It's like old, what was it, Ipsum Lorem, when people are trying to lay out web pages or something and they need blocks of text, but they don't have the text yet. You just get this Latin like gibberish, Ipsum Lorem everywhere. It's almost like that. They're just bleh, just splurt something out. Ooh. Splurt something out. I'll take that back.
I want them to
That's
share
nice.
the knowledge. I want them to share the knowledge. But I mean, we're just seeing a video here of some bullshit curve floor and some misconception, misunderstanding, and a little bit of bullshit in between.
Yeah. Look, if I put my camera right down on the floor and put something in its way, it can hide stuff. Well, no shit. Of course it can.
Hmm.
It'd be weird if it didn't.
Yep.
Oh dear.
And then we got a paradox over here going on. Hold on. I'm trying to. You can see it well, but for YouTube, I need to minimize it a little bit here. There you go. Now we got everything on view. The YouTube interwebs. Twin Flerfer paradox. How can two flat earthers be so dense and not be pulled together by their own gravity? We got NSC Montreal here. We get a Kiwi over here, 40 miles. That's
You'll
beautiful.
notice how SC Montreal is playing Alice.
Yeah. Thank you, Anna Murphy. That's great.
Nice.
And then Sean Hawkins, with his kind words, say, "It's not a paradox, you uneducated dipshit." Very kind words.
See, that's what I like about Sean Hawkins.
Yeah, that's not too bad compared to others, that's all right.
This is true, but he doesn't tend to sugarcoat it. He just cuts through to the quick and says, black is black, white is white, and you're a fuck knuckle.
Go to the jugular, yeah.
Yeah, know where you stand with Sean. He doesn't fuck about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's no skateboards. RT96, well spotted.
What?
Where are the skateboards?
How
Yeah,
dare
where are
you?
the skateboards?
What?
Oh, no.
I don't like it. Let me find a skateboard.
That one still cracks me up that all of a sudden they're like on two different but very close together planets or something. If they're just drawn two figures on top of a dirty great big circle, then maybe what am I saying? Maybe they'd get it.
Yeah, they they will find some words to deny reality. They will find some words to deny what's in their noses.
Nuh-uh. It's fake. It's CGI because it has to be. Probably nuh-uh again.
Yeah, always.
Yeah,
of course, always.
There you go. I could be a flat earther. Nuh-uh.
There's a flat earther there. Very, very expert.
No, Sean, we weren't picking any fault with your statement whatsoever. What part of my statement was untrue? None of it at all.
Has anyone heard about this new thing with flat earthers denying nuclear weapons?
Me, was he bloody quiet?
Yeah, a little bit quiet, Bibo. We didn't hear you.
There you go.
I said, has anyone heard about this new thing about flat earthers denying the existence of nuclear weapons?
That's not new. That's not new.
Yeah, that's been
that's
been
old.
up a few times before. I think it's just an
the reality. Well, it's new to me because
okay.
I guess I was in somebody's Discord yesterday and someone was mentioning it, and then what's his name? Arctic Reflections did a community post saying the same thing, and I'm like, is this like a growing trend or something?
Well, they're bringing it up because of the topic going on, in the world. So they bring it back up. But since I came in like day one, I always heard that flat earthers don't believe in nuclear weapons. They don't believe those big bombs in Hiroshima, Nagasaki, the hydrogen bombs, the tests. None of that is real. They think it's all fake. They just think it's just big bombs, but have nothing to do with nuclear power.
It's just TNT.
Yeah. Just pretty much
nuclear power.
Just black powder,
I mean, ignoring the fact that to have a conventional explosive with the same sort of output as the nuke dropped on Hiroshima, um, a B-29 wouldn't be able to lift the bloody thing in the first place. I mean, I can't remember how many thousands of tons of TNT it was equivalent to, but it was like, no, you'd need a whole bloody fleet, and the whole point was they did it with one aircraft. That was the
Yeah.
scary thing, that they could build a bomb that had that big a bang and carry it on one plane.
It's a
I mean,
big
let's ignore
firecracker.
the
Which,
fact that it's but we have nuclear power stations, and we have nuclear powered submarines and aircraft carriers and fuck knows what else,
yeah,
and it's all related.
that's all
It's
a
all
charade. They
it all
say that's
comes
all a
down to the same
charade.
thing.
There's nothing going on there. It's a charade.
Ah, right. So the submarines that can basically leave port and dive and not have to surface again for 3 months. And in theory, they could stay down a damn sight longer, but 3 months tends to be how long the supplies last. They can dive and not surface again for their entire patrol, thanks to nuclear reactors. But it's all fake,
Yeah, I laugh.
and they
I
can
just
even
ignore
pass
those
under the
comments
North
when they
Pole.
when they talk about that. I ignore this. Like it's just fucking silly. There's no
Yeah,
reason to argue that. It makes no sense.
it's almost like they've produced a list, and it's like, okay, what haven't we denied? What haven't we said is fake or CGI? Is
Mhm.
there anything left? To,
Yeah.
to look forward to say, no, that's not real. I don't get it. I don't understand the mindset whatsoever.
Yeah, yeah.
However, I keep watching this old boy fall off the skateboard, and that just really looks painful.
Yeah.
Oh, that's got a smart
Yeah, alcohol on alcohol.
skin. It's so overrated. Oh, there we go. Thank you, Truth Nerds. John Bernard's denied the existence of nuclear weapons at least a year ago on the show. That does sound vaguely familiar.
Yeah, sounds about right. Everything that is
Yeah.
everything it has must be refuted by denial for them on their cases.
I mean, you know, the the there are not fuel. The weapons themselves are fake. They can't possibly exist.
Yeah, they haven't brought any
It's
knowledge.
bizarre.
They haven't brought any any explanation and any reasons on why they're fake or nothing. They just must say it's fake. That's about it.
Yeah. Well, they're all conspiracy theorists of one shade or another. So, if you start believing this is fake and that is fake, then hey, what the hell? That's fake as well, and this is fake and that's not real. Go for it.
Hmm. Yeah. Nuclear power stations are just filled with compressed ether and drawn from electromagnetic luminescence of the ether. Thank you, Sean Hawkins. Sean Hawkins. Sean Hawkins. Appreciate
Are you sure they'll do it?
it. Makes sense.
Like what? Oh, hello. Excuse me. I have a guest. Come on then. Come on. Yeah, the cat wants to come up on the desk. There you go. What's that? Flat Earthers idiots? Yes, I know. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lucky Fish Mars, what's up? Biggest Douglas, Justin Franks, Tiny Captain. Hold on. Making things smaller is to smallify in Flirt's language. So when we're talking about perspective, is smallify. Things smallify in the distance. Thank you.
Seems legit.
Yep. It goes straight to the Urban Dictionary now. Therefore, that's my dictionary of choice. Fuck Merriam-Webster dictionary and all this shit.
Who needs the Oxford English Dictionary when you've got
Yeah,
the Urban
shit.
Dictionary?
I don't need no Real Academia de la Lengua Española to know my language. I go to the Urban Dictionary Flurf chapter. Flurf appendix. And you find all the terms in there. Illuminati confirmed. Alright, who else is here? I want to take the lead now. We got Al K, Shaikh, Komar, Earth Life, Farmer's Boy, and Mars Mushrooms. And Tiny Captain is in the house too.
Don't forget Tiny Captain.
Needed to scroll down to see that one.
Yeah, I'm here.
What up? So everything is fake, Tiny Captain.
Yeah, well, that's why I joined this community, because somebody told me my job was fake.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah. What do you know about sailing the high seas and navigation? You do it all flat maps.
Well, as long as this fake money goes into a bank account, what do you care?
Fake bank accounts. Fake bank accounts. Fake money to the fake bank accounts, and you can buy fake food with it.
As long as you go fake hungry.
Yeah, fake hunger. Yeah.
I mean, I get fake bills. I have to be paid with fake money. That'd be nice. I just had a quick look.
For your information, the opposite of smallify is biglify. Biglify. Thank you. Hold on. It's beautiful. Very well said.
Eagly. Yeah, Hiroshima was the equivalent of 15,000 tons of TNT. Nagasaki was the equivalent of 25,000 tons. Just imagine how many fleets of bombers you'd need to carry all that in one go.
Yeah, nothing, because Hiroshima and Nagasaki are not real places.
And at the same time, they'll tell you that you don't know what kind of technology the government's got and how far ahead they are.
Well, to a certain point, this is true, but we certainly know what they had, and we know what they've got. It's just the new stuff that we don't know about yet.
No, you don't know what they got, but it's certainly not nuclear.
Ah,
Yeah.
right. It's the old, we don't know what it is, but we know what it isn't.
But because I don't know what it is, neither do you. Remember that part.
Ah, the projection of ignorance.
Yes.
And
If
the
I don't know
projection
it,
of
neither you
inconvenience.
do you. You neither know it.
Exactly, yes. Oh, we don't know, and you don't know either. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, I can have that
They're
argument.
the
That's
only
the
ones
worst.
that do know.
Yeah, that's the worst. Flip flop. Flip flop knows that argument very well. I try not to use it too much because it's very annoying and it pisses people off. And I know how to play the game. I try
Yes,
to avoid
you
it.
do. You're very good at playing that game, and you're very good at pissing people off.
Yeah, that part of the game of I don't know and neither do you. I'm good. I'm fucking good at it.
I think that's generally the point where I say, fuck you, I'm off to do something else.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
not playing.
That's why I don't want to
So-
lose my audience. That's why I try not to do it, too often.
Oh, I don't know, and neither do you. Yeah.
So just to show you to what length they will go to hide those secret technologies, is when one of these power plants blow up, they spread radiation to make you think it's radioactive. But no, it's not.
So,
It was fake.
so if we take a case in point, salient to what's happening in the world, and we look at Chernobyl, yes, all of those people who died within minutes, then hours, then days, then weeks, then months, and still, I'm sure, were dying years afterwards from the effects of radiation poisoning. They're
Yeah,
clearly
but
all,
that
they're
was the
clearly all
cover up.
actors, crisis actors,
But
and shit like that.
that was the cover up. The technology is unknown. They put radiation there to make you think it was nuclear, but it wasn't.
But
Right.
why kill somebody very, very slowly to cover it up? Because if he knows, it's easier to kill him quickly.
No, he doesn't know. He only knows what he was told.
Yeah, like I say, I just don't understand the mindset of denying reality and denying the bleeding obvious, you know. But I guess that's why I'm not a flat earther. Um, I just can't. I just can't get my head around it.
I don't know if you've been in gyms lately, but Dallas Dave has gone off the deep end with Russia.
Dallas Dave has gone off the deep end. How many deep ends can he go off?
Oh, big time.
I mean,
He's,
this is obviously a multi-level that you just go deeper.
Russia's right, and we're all wrong.
He's either he's on a massive troll and he's just taking the piss big time, or he is just completely off his rocker. Problem is, it can be a job to tell when you're not face to face with someone. Having said that, I don't think I ever want to be face to face with Dallas Dave because I'm not entirely sure I could take it.
I don't think he's allowed back in Texas anymore. We don't want him.
So, is he backing Russia? Is he or is he denying? You know, what's he saying?
Oh, it's Russia's there to help them become, you know, and they all and Putin said he'll leave if they just do this, and do this. I'm like, screw Putin. He doesn't have a decision in this, you know? And neither do we. It's Ukraine.
I don't think that Jose is going to be too happy about your conversation.
Oh,
all right. Flat Earth, bollocks to it.
Well, just
yeah,
you know, the two things he insists that you don't talk about is
Brian, David,
you know, the pandemic and politics in general. He's like been away for 30 seconds, and it's like, ooh.
Fair play. I don't know.
I remember ages ago, Dallas Dave questioned Oakley.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
The amount of shit he received for it after Oakley and all the rest of the flat earthers. I remember commenting about it because it just pointed out right there and then, you know, what a bunch of fucking cultist wankers they were. It's like you've got to agree with the leader.
And that came from Dallas Dave. Blimey, maybe he had a moment of lucidity.
I don't know if it was him or one of his clones.
But it
must be one of its clones.
oh, that's right. Yeah, clones. I forgot about that. But they're all getting like that. I mean, if you're ever brave enough to listen to 5 minutes of one of Bev's eternal hangouts that just seem to go on forever and a day, you know, it doesn't matter what shite he spouts, either live or in the text chat. Everybody just goes along with it and almost seems to worship him. You know, nobody sort of at any point goes, no, hang on a minute, that's bollocks. No, yep, no, that's absolutely. And if anybody comes in and dares to disagree, they all descend upon them. You know, it's like okay, we're about to go live in 5. Here's the hymn sheet. Make sure you're reading from it. Thank you very much.
Well, you have to give Bev that he actually says a lot that he doesn't understand and that he cannot get his head around it.
Yeah, but they all just sort of agree with him or go along with him. It doesn't matter what he spouts. They'll all go, oh, yeah, good point. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Bev. Yeah. It's like, what?
You kick him out otherwise.
No, I suppose.
You have to agree with some of these people, always.
And can I say this just for my fan club who's appeared? Rumpus, rumpus, rumpus.
Not yet.
I'm sure it won't work, but it's worth a go. You know.
I think it only works on those other Yahoos.
Actually, from what I've heard, he's spending a lot of time in Bev's. Oh, sorry, not Bev's server.
Oh, it's a bed. It's like, want to know why you know that, but
no, because I mean, so yeah, later on I'll go and watch your telly, and I'll just pick up my phone and go, "Oh, it's Bev live stream," and let's just listen to the shit for 30 seconds. And I keep hearing Rumpus in there repeating something for the 42nd time. You know, it's like, mate, you're just wasting your time with them. You know, they don't want to hear. They don't want to hear what you've got to say because they just deny it. Yeah, Biggest Doggers has got it right. Bev's finally found a place in life where people listen to him. God knows why. But... Hey.
You mean on? I'm back.
Do you feel better for that?
I feel excellent. I took a piss. And like a meme, like with rolling the eyes to the side, doing the little shake. You know.
Isn't it lovely when it leaves you? Eh?
Yeah.
That moment of relief.
It's beautiful. I feel excellent. Now, who wants to go 1-on-1 with me now in anything? I win any argument with you, and it's gonna be quick, simple, and easy. All right, let's go 1-on-1. Okay, you up first. You versus me. Go ahead. Make your case, and then I'll refute it. Doesn't matter if I agree or disagree. I will disagree with you. Any case you want to make, I will disagree with you. Go ahead, man. We'll take turns. 5 minutes. Right. Oh. Okay, didn't want it. Shaik, I guess it's you, man. Go ahead, man. Make your case.
Well, I need a position here. Where are they?
Anything in life or world. Okay. Here we go. Jose JG versus Shaik. First and final round. Shaik, you're up first. Go ahead.
Why me? You first.
No, you go ahead, man.
Go ahead, what?
With any statement you want to make, I will defeat it.
Water can curve.
False.
It's like that, is it?
Yeah. Boom. I mean, follow up. Go ahead. Uh-oh. Alkay coming hot.
Alkay's having problems with his mic, it would seem.
Alkay coming hot.
Hey, you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now, mate. We had the hot mic in first.
Yeah, but now, do you hear me? If you hear me, you should hear me reading Anamorphic Minds $2 super chat. Is a hot dog a sandwich? Now, fight. Thank you, Anamorphic Mind. That is a beautiful question. A hot dog, yes, is a sandwich.
no, not unless it's in a bun.
You got one piece of bread in the bottom. You got one chunk of meat in the middle, and you got one piece of bread in the top. That is a sandwich.
Okay.
Sometimes I eat without the bun.
Yeah. So
Technically, it's only the sausage.
To begin with, it's not meat.
Well,
Second, it's the same bun, so it's not two different slices of bread.
Right. Well, have you seen a Cuban sandwich It's technically not two slices of bread. You get a loaf of bread. You cut it in the middle. You open it up slightly, and then you fill it up with pork and all that kind of good stuff. That's a sandwich. So what is a
It's
hot
well,
dog?
Right.
You got 1 liter bread, 1 little chunk of bomb of bread. You slice in the middle, or you slice it, and then you put the hot dog in the middle. That's a sandwich.
So wait. So you said Cuban football sandwich, but that doesn't mean it's a sandwich. It's a Cuban sandwich, just like football is not a ball, nor is it played by foot,
Did a ham
right?
sandwich,
So,
pastrami
well,
sandwich, ham sandwich, plain sandwich with nothing in it. You just grab a loaf of bread, you cut it in the middle, and then you eat it. Just
That's
so
called
what
a
are you
whoosh.
eating? Just bread, but you cut it in the middle. You make a cut. That's a sandwich. It's just that got nothing on it.
That's called a whoosh sandwich. You have two pieces of bread and you whoosh you had some meat between them.
Yeah, you just eat it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Tommy Grumble for 20 Nokias. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate it, man. A debate that actually makes sense finally. And he's just enjoying the popcorn with a good debate.
Well,
Thank you.
can I just point out that
Right.
in 2016, the British Sandwich Association said that a hot dog is not a sandwich, and neither is a burger.
So who makes that British Association the arbiter of sandwiches?
they,
All
they
sandwich.
invented it.
It doesn't, but they call themselves the British Sandwich Association.
Okay.
And as far as they're concerned, a hot dog or a burger are not sandwiches.
Well, I claim
Oh.
myself the Boom know all about sandwiches, and hot dog is a sandwich association.
And indeed, it would seem that the National Hot Dog and Sausage Council in the States, their policy is that whilst a hot dog could have historically fit into the sandwich category, it has now outgrown it. So there you go.
And actually,
But-
hamburgers are also sandwiches. Everything that had bread and some meat or something a fill in between,
not.
those are all sandwiches.
I agree with you. By the definition of a sandwich, it's two bits of bread with something in between it.
Yeah.
Boom.
And it
That's a
doesn't
hot
matter
dog,
if it's
that's a
one
burger.
single loaf of bread that you cut in the middle and you fill it up. It's still a sandwich.
I've had slight sort of sandwiches that were almost that thick. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a sandwich hamburger, because you can order a hamburger not in a sandwich.
And there's no ham in a hamburger.
No.
Yeah, and don't tell the Germans that there are sandwiches.
Kebabs.
We got 33 thumbs up. Illuminati confirmed indeed. 100%.
The taco sandwich?
Yes, tacos are no well, it's in a shell, so that will slightly differ. Now, if instead of using a shell, you use bread, then it will become a sandwich with the same exact ingredients than a taco,
It tastes so much better.
It does. Or a tortilla, you put a tortilla, the ingredients of the taco, that will make it a tortilla or a
Burrito?
chalupa or burrito, whatever, yeah.
Or whatever.
Oh, whatever. But not the sandwich if it's not on bread.
Is pita bread a bread?
Bread.
It's veggie bread. It's 2 slices of lettuce. I put a slice of lettuce in the bottom. I put some ham and cheese, lettuce and tomato, and I put another slice of lettuce in the top. Well, is that a lettuce sandwich? Is that a sandwich? No. It doesn't have bread in it.
I think it is.
You can call it a veggie burger. I mean, you get ham, but you can call it a veggie sandwich, veggie wish, but it's not a sandwich.
Bread's bread. It's just flatbread. Still bread.
30 Rock, Tracy Morgan wanted to make his own version of the George Foreman. So he wanted a piece of bread, piece of chicken with meat in the middle, like ham in the middle, and then another piece of chicken. So the chicken is your bread. All bread, all meat.
Yes, that's definitely.
People got burnt.
That's just meat laminate.
Oh yeah, we got a super chat by Anamorphic Mind, a $5 one this time. If I put a slice of bread on either side of Chris Berry, would he be considered an idiot sandwich?
Yes, it
Whoa.
would be.
Yes, that was an easy yes. Yeah. I mean, if you put a slice of bread in either side or in both sides of Chris Berry, it will make it a sandwich, and you can fill in you can add any adjective that you want in there. Idiot, moron, uneducated, loud, all that good stuff, silly, idiot. Yep, good call. We got a super chat by Leo $5. 2022 confirmed. I am Jumongo's best YouTube friend. Whoa, did you just became Jumongo's best friend in 2022? So you've been best friends with him for 2 months and some change. Very good, very good. Shout out to Jumongo's and Leo. Thank you for the super chat.
You know, I could just eat a sandwich now, but I had one earlier on. Ooh.
So who invented the sandwich, you say? British?
Oh,
Yes.
What? Where you get
British.
that information
Yeah.
from?
Wasn't
Earl
it
Sandwich.
Lord Sandwich?
The Earl of Sandwich. That's why it's called a sandwich, because if I remember rightly, he was an avid card player. And I think he ordered his maid or whatever to go and bring him some food. And to make it easy to hold in his hand, he had the meat or whatever put between 2 slices of bread or 2 chunks of bread. Or something like that from what I can remember anyway. And, it became popular, and because it was the Earl of Sandwich, it was known as the sandwich.
Now,
That's the myth anyway. I mean, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But...
I'm on it, Humongous. Charlie Wells say that Reuben sandwiches fucking rule. Hey, you haven't tried a Jose's sandwich, bro. Jose's sandwiches roll better than the Reuben sandwiches. I don't know who Reuben even is. Boom. People trying to eat Alfredo sauce. Alfredo sauce is so good, dude. You haven't tried my sauce.
What's a Reuben sandwich? The only Reuben I know is, was.
Google it, bro. Google it.
Yeah, I'm having a look. A Reuben sandwich.
Oh, man.
The one with corned beef?
Corned beef, Swiss cheese, sauerkraut, Russian salad dressing between slices of rye bread that is grilled until the bread is crispy and the cheese melts. Oh, that's put me off for a start. I don't like melted cheese.
All right. All right, I got this shout out on Jomongus. Jomongus just sent me $10 on PayPal. Thank you, Jomongus. I appreciate your support, brother. He says, things I wish would happen. All right, Jomongus. Wish things happen. And this is Hawkins not to be angry. Whoa. Big call. Farmers to be entertaining. Whoa. Shots fired. And flat earthers to be informed. Whoa. I know none of these things are possible, but a man can only dream. Hashtag leaky, leaky, leaky. Jamangus, that was a beautiful PayPal hit, brother. Appreciate that.
Oh, thank you very much, Humongous.
Very well, very good.
Much
And
appreciated.
Leo,
have I ever told you the story about?
Leo just gave me a $5 super chat. And farmers, you're famous today. Leo say, sorry, farmers boy, I stole your mongoose from you. Woo!
Oh, you bitch.
Yeah, I don't know. You should address that, man.
Lyle, you and I I feel we need to have words.
I think a cage, no holds barred, no gloves, will fix that situation.
Yeah, I'll bore him to death.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. You're looking out for real.
Hey, Jose, if you want to use the term sandwich liberally, you'd have to say empanadas and empanadillas are sandwiches.
Well, actually, empanadas and empanadillas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pan is bread. Pan is by definition bread, my friend. Pot and pan. Other. Uh-huh.
Oh, right. I mean, playing bad words in the Spanish term, yes, but what is the actual translation for sandwich in Spanish? I got it in the tip of my mouth.
Pata,
I'm sorry.
bocadillo.
No,
Bo-
bocadillo is a small one.
Here in Spain, bocadillos, yeah, it's like a long sandwich.
Yeah, like a long, small, smaller sandwich, long, smaller. Sandwich emparedado. No, fucking emparedado. No, what the fuck is that? Em, em, empanado. Hold on, I gotta ask.
Like if the definition of sandwich, if the definition of sandwich is bread and anything else, if the definition of
Emparedado. I knew
sandwich is
that word.
anything
I
with
heard it
bread,
somewhere.
then
Have you
that
heard
would
that word?
be anything breaded, like even breaded fish.
Have you heard that word before? Emparedado.
No, I have not.
Yeah, that's
I
that's
don't
what
think so.
sandwich translation in Spanish. I mean, for us, Puerto Rico, I think Mexico too.
Yeah.
Emparedado. That's why it was strange because I never used the word, but I know it. I never used. Even in Puerto Rico, nobody uses that word, but that is the word for sandwich. Maybe I just call it sandwich.
Well, actually, the real translation would be bruja de arena. Boom.
Bullshit. That's sandwich. Well, sandwich. Bruja de arena, motherfucker. Yeah, you got me. Sandwich. Fucking A, you're a genius. Translate that.
Well,
Translate.
actually,
Yeah, go ahead.
well, it was from the Earl of Sandwich, right? So the British may have claim to that term anyway, right? So it was the Earl of Sandwich, and then we have the Sandwich Islands. Yeah, I don't know what they eat there.
Mm. It's like you're gonna translate the word agents to Spanish. Those agentes, right? I guess agentes is the word agents in Spanish. Agentes. But if you want to translate the word agentes to English, that's a people. The letter A and then peoples.
Yeah,
A
or
peoples.
or two people,
Yeah.
or two people.
Yeah.
But agente could also mean officer, like
Yeah.
agente de policía.
Yeah. We used to mess like that, me and my friends in Puerto Rico. Like, how do we translate this word in English? And we translate it straight up. Like, agentes means a people, and bullshit like that. I said, like, we said, like, that makes no sense. That's why it was hard for me to learn English in the beginning. I didn't know how to translate shit. Oh my God, are we resorting to Spanish semantics now? Where in the fuck are the verbs? Shout out to Citizen 9. Very well said. Thank you. Spanish semantics. The fuck? What's wrong with us? Oh, we were talking about sandwiches. Is hot dog a sandwich? Yes. I say yes, but I'm not the arbiter. I mean, actually, I am the arbiter of truth. If I say hot dog is a sandwich, it is. What do you think?
Sandwich Islands are now what's known as Hawaii.
Now, I think
And Captain Cook named them the Sandwich Islands because one of his major patrons, the Earl of Sandwich.
I think out of respect and because of seniority, we should allow Blue to give us his thoughts and his knowledge on is a hot dog a sandwich. We're not talking just about the little hot dog, about the piece of meat you buy. We're talking about the whole shenanigans with the bread and the meat and whatever fillings you want, mustard, ketchup, whatever. Blue, is hot dog a sandwich? He might be too busy playing with tarts.
And put them between two slices of bread. Is that a hot dog?
Mm. Open sandwiches prove flat earth. True or false? And why?
Nothing proves flat Earth.
Mm.
Only if the sandwiches were free for everybody all the time, then maybe so.
Mm. Is any Cuban sandwich a Cuban sandwich when it's not made in Cuba? Think about it. I don't think it is. It's just a sandwich, Cuban style. Do open sandwiches have topography? Yes, they do. Also depends on how rotten is the meat that you put in. The more rotten the meat is, the more topography you'll have in your sandwich. That's so fucked up. I don't even know why I say that. One guy's telling me a lot. Tell me about hot dogs and sandwiches. There you go. Justin Frank's got it. It will be a Cuban style sandwich, not a Cuban sandwich. All right, can we please move on from this topic? Hold on, it's got a point, and that's why a hot dog. Why our hot dogs are called hot dogs? Because they're not really particularly hot, and there's no dog on it. Fucking a, you're a genius.
There might be dog in it.
It can be dog in it, but not
There
necessarily.
might be dog.
Is the
There was a
horizontal
donut.
is the horizontal of a hot dog parallel and level? Anamorphic mind asked with a $2 super chat. It's a great question. I think it's fantastic question. You want to answer that, Farmers Boy? You're the expert on horizontals, hot dogs, parallels, and levels. You rage quit on me? Mm-hmm. Farmers Boy rage quit on me. Oh, he's not even listening. Shame. Well, we lost the expert to answer that question directly, anamorphic mind, but I'll ask for the audience. Is the horizontal of a hot dog parallel and level? That's the question. Thank you very much for the super chat, brother. Now, I hear some people using the word biscuit. A biscuit, it is kind of a flaky type of bread-ish type of thing. A biscuit, like a biscuit, breakfast biscuit with eggs and I don't know sausage. McDonald's, right? But I hear people calling biscuit to something sweet with like chocolate chips and stuff. Why is that? It makes no fucking sense. I think cookies, some people call cookies biscuits.
Yeah, no, cookies are cookies. Biscuits are a different thing.
Exactly.
A biscuit.
That's
Well,
British. Cookies is just an American word. Okay, so we call it biscuits. What we would call a biscuit in the UK, that would be a bun or a crumpet. A crumpet, especially what we'd call like an English.
Yeah, yeah. But here we call cookies. The cookies are kind of like a softer consistency
Yeah, but you
Yeah,
guys
to a
same in the
biscuit.
Netherlands.
but you guys in Britain also call bread pudding, so can't
What?
you, right?
That's the first I heard that one.
What do you think
We call
Yorkshire pudding is?
Oh yeah.
we call bread pudding.
Yorkshire pudding. What is it? Is it a pudding?
Oh no, well yeah, I guess it
Well,
is.
it's a bread, I guess.
I got two super chats.
You're
I got it highlight two super chats right here. And we got C4. C4 is hitting me up with a $2 super chat. Jealously is an ugly color on you, Marcus. Ooh, there's some feud going on with Marcus and C4 over here. I like that. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on them too. Thank you, C4, for the super chat. Also all about love, brother. And Tusk for £3. Thank you very much, Tusk. Put your sausage away, you filthy pervert. Yes, I just did. I'm sorry about that. But then I put up this image of Snoop Dogg who says that donut is a sandwich. Amen, brother. Amen. Thank you.
Yes, Yorkshire pudding is not bread pudding.
Oh yeah, I've got it. A pizza is a sandwich.
A pizza can be a sandwich when you fold it over. Yes. Once you fold
Well,
it
that's called a
one slice,
calzone.
once you
Yeah,
fold one slice over the other, you got
yeah.
a triangle upside down, one downside up, one against the other. That's a sandwich. Boom, straight up.
Or they call that a calzone or a stromboli or whatever. But yeah, so a pizza is just an unfolded sandwich.
Amen.
Basically,
The
just about everything's a
genius.
sandwich.
And I just put the sausage back up just for Tusk for an extra minute here. Oh man. Shout to Snoop Dogg. He know what's up.
Well, a bagel is a sandwich then.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you can make a sandwich using bagels. Yes.
You know, in the UK, we don't actually pay taxes on cakes or biscuits unless they are partially covered in chocolate. Then they're taxed at the standard rate.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit controversial. That's why RT96 for $2 is calling it a sandwich paradox. Beautiful RT96. Beautiful super chat. Yes, it is a sandwich
No,
paradox going on right now.
it's not a paradox. No skateboards are harmed.
Oh, that's awesome.
Ice cream sandwich.
Ice cream sandwich, fucking A. You are also a genius. We got M2M for a £5 super chat. Who says, no, a biscuit in the UK are the things you call cookies in the USA. That's why I'm saying earlier, I say biscuit is kind of a flaky type of bread that you can eat sandwiches and make sandwiches with it. But then some people call these soft sweets with chocolate chips and other stuff. They call it biscuits. No, those are cookies. Thank you, M2M.
In the Netherlands, we have cookies, and a type of cookie is a biscuit.
Mm.
What?
A biscuit is a type of a cookie in the Netherlands. But if you have
Okay.
a different type than a biscuit, then it's still a cookie, but it's not a biscuit anymore.
What makes it a biscuit and not a cookie, or vice versa?
Bread.
A biscuit is normally hard, and a cookie can be also a soft cookie. But for example, a chocolate chip cookie is not a biscuit.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of the same here. It's the same here. Like a cookie is kind of a softer consistency, much larger usually.
So what are the hard ones? If I buy a chocolate chip cookie and one is soft, and I buy another chocolate chip cookie from a different brand and it's hard, crackly,
It's a
they're
it's a
both
biscuit.
cookies. What? In the United States, I never use the word biscuit for hard cookies.
Can I just read this out? This is from the Oxford Dictionary's blog, and I think it clarifies the position beautifully. A British biscuit is an American cookie, and an American cookie is a British cookie, and an American biscuit is a British scone, and an American scone is something else entirely.
I'm gonna need a translator. Where's the translator?
I trust that clarifies the position.
I think you made it worse for me, man. I'm not gonna sleep today, bro.
I thought, that'll fuck them.
I'm gonna sleep today. I'm thinking about all that kind of shit. And then you throw the word scones in it. What the fuck is even a scone?
Yes, well, a scone over here is something you have as part of high tea, and it is to be with strawberry jam and whipped cream.
You need to make a diagram, bro, for real.
Let's find a picture of a good old British scone.
Fantastic stuff.
There we go. There's a cream tea.
Now you're a little bit in the low side volume.
I know. I've been having troubles with my Discord's fucking nearby.
So what is this?
I don't know if you knew this.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that back when I used to work for the Albanian mafia, we would make pizzas, and it was a pizza company, right? And make the calzone, and then also make sandwiches.
Wait.
It's the exact same dough.
Hold on. My brain froze when you say like the mafia. What the hell? Dude, don't say this shit.
Oh, yeah, well.
Go ahead,
TMI, right? No, it's just they run most of the pizza joints in Alaska. Right? So I'm making pizzas, and they make sandwiches like calzones. It's just it's folded over, but it's in the exact same dough. They're making sandwiches with pizza bread. It's the same thing.
Now, what do we have on screen? I got the image that Farmer Boy shared.
Over here in the UK, that's either, depending on where you come from, either a scone or a scone. But that is part of it. That's what's called a cream tea over here. And with your tea, you would have one of these scones. And obviously, you slice it in half, and you spread it with, for my preference, strawberry jam and whipped cream. But it's got to quick.
I just found the difference between a biscuit and a cookie.
I go for it.
A cookie is baked once and a biscuit twice.
Yes, biscuits are usually crunchy.
So if I gotta,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna ask if farmers preferred scones or crumpets.
Crumpets is something totally different over here. I must admit I prefer scones because it's got jam and cream, and it's sweet.
What is a crumpet? The hell?
You're getting an education here, boy. I can tell you.
Is it like pancake?
Okay, that to me, let's bung this in here, is a crumpet.
Crumpet is a pancake. Or waffle, like a waffle, mixed between waffle and pancake.
Now you're thinking of crepes. That's a crepe.
I had
a French crepe, which is also a sandwich.
I had to jump on for a second because I've got to correct Farmer's Boy because I'm actually quite frankly I'm disgusted with the Farmer's Boy. He said over here we put on. He said whipped cream with the jam. No, absolutely not. Clotted cream.
Ooh.
Well, you can do, but whipped cream's easy to get hold of.
No, charlatan.
Like I give a shit.
No.
No, you don't.
You sure?
Anyway, I can't eat them anyway because my blood sugar levels would go through the bloody roof.
This image that you shared, is it a crumpet, Farmer's Boy?
Yes, that's a crumpet.
That's a thick pancake.
No, they're not like pancakes at all. They haven't got. They don't. They're much thicker than a pancake, and they're classed more as a bread.
Yeah, they're made with yeast rather than.
Yes.
Okay, so it's a different mix, different flour, different
yes
dough. Okay.
Yes, water or milk, flour, and yeast.
It's basically like an English blini, I suppose.
But I thought like Bigus Dogus, okay, crumpet is a slightly broken trumpet. Like a crump.
Broken trumpet, a crumbling trumpet.
Yeah.
So the next question, we're begging the question now. You mentioned cakes. The difference between cake and pie, thousands of people literally have asked me.
Well, a cake is sweet. Pies generally, I'm not saying this goes for everything, but pies generally are a savoury item.
What? How about a pumpkin pie, fish pie, apple pie, any pie ever in the world?
I did say generally. I didn't say all pie.
Okay.
Well, that's meat pies too, which are pretty
pies
savory.
generally have pastry. Cakes don't generally have.
I mean,
pastry, or certainly not.
Traditionally, a pizza is a pie, isn't it?
Yes, I think
yeah.
Pizzas are like, yes,
I think the Italians originally called it a pie, wouldn't it? Because it was originally made for some Italian flag, and that's what they called it. But for some reason, eventually, it was called pizza.
Yeah, it was some sort of meat filling in it or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Now on screen right now, I got a biscuit.
Italian stop.
Really quick, I got on screen right now, and I'm sharing my screen. That's a biscuit right there. And I think some gravy has been added to it or something like that. But that actually the main thing. That's a biscuit.
Oh no, that's not. No, over here that's not a biscuit. You don't have gravy on biscuits in the UK. That's for double damn sure.
Okay.
That looks more like a scone.
Yeah, we would call something like that a dumpling. You'd put that something like that you have there in like a stew or something traditional.
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah, and also going back to when you mentioned Yorkshire pudding, I have no idea why it's called a pudding, but it's not a pudding. It's a savoury thing you usually have with like a roast dinner or something like. You put gravy on it, a bit like your biscuits that you have there, but they're kind of like batter, really.
Hey, who's talking right now? Is that you, Matt? M2M?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Now, question for everybody: is he breaking up a little bit the microphone for everybody, or is it just me? If it's just me, that means that the audio is, it's a little slightly fucked up for YouTube. But it's me with my windows open. I don't think your microphone is bad. I think it's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stop.
He sounds good.
Yeah, I'll stop screen sharing. That'll fix it, I'll keep sharing for YouTube, but over here in the screen share on Discord, I had to stop it. That's pushing it a little too much. So carry on, guys. Yeah. We got a few people here, guesses that just jump in. We got Brian Leake was not here. Also, 56 is here, aka Lemon Bird. What's up, guys? You want to bring us down to earth and bring something more fun and entertaining? More earthy topic wise. Saw you. Tommy Grumble. Shout out to Tommy Grumble.
How do I?
Sounds good.
I wanted to ask a couple questions about the stars.
Go for it. Yeah.
We all agree that every 69 miles, the stars change basically 1 degree. Anybody object to that? All right, I didn't think so.
The same star?
Well, let's say that.
Yeah, most people would say 69 per degree.
So if I'm let's say if I'm at 30 degrees latitude, if somebody travels 69 miles south of me, if they basically forget to drink their V8 and they angle towards me 1 degree, they're basically going to have the same zenith star as I'm going to have directly over my head if they're 69 degrees exactly south of me. And vice versa. Somebody who goes 69 degrees north of me, if they angle 1 degree towards
9
me,
miles.
are y'all picturing that yet in your
You
head?
said 69 degrees. 69 degrees would be 69 times
I meant,
69. I think
yeah,
you're
sorry
saying
about that.
69 miles. No
Thank
problem.
you. Thank you, Lemon. I meant miles. So 69 miles, and they tilt toward me 1 degree. They tilt 1 mile toward me. No, they tilt 1 degree toward me from each, say, north and south. One person 69 degree or 69 miles north of me angled 1 degree towards me. In other words, their ground is supposedly curving away from them. So if they tilt their self 1 degree away from water level where they're at, and the same thing from the person in the south. What's that?
Brian, 1 degree of longitude is only 69 miles at the equator.
That's why I'm going north and south, Blue. That's why I'm going north and south, Blue.
Okay, if you're going along a line of longitude, then yes, your latitude will change 1 degree every 69 miles. That's true.
Right. That's why I'm going north and south, because it would be 69 degrees. Okay, and well, you just kind of accelerated to the point, really, because so if we're going to do the same thing, east and west, and we're changing basically the longitude, then that only happens at the equator. So if I'm, say, 45 degrees north, if I'm 45 degrees north latitude, and I go 69 miles east and 69 miles west, one person goes 69 miles east, one person goes 69 miles west, and then how much do they have to tilt toward me to have the same zenith star, Blue?
They're not going to tilt towards you. You're going to get the angle off the star.
Well, I'd have to sit down and work that out, Brian.
Oh yeah, you have to take the sign of 69.
Right.
Or, not 69 of
sign of 45.
Yeah, 45. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, the cosine of
0.707 times 69, I suppose. I think that's right.
You broke up. Repeat that again. I'm sorry, you broke up. Can you start over?
Well, the sine of 45 degrees is 0.707. So 0.707 times 69 miles, I think, would be the answer. You have to think about it.
basically, if you go 1 degree up north and south latitude, it would be like the cosine of 1 degree times 69. So you go from 69 to 68 miles per degree if you go along a line of latitude. But you'd have to take the cosine of your latitude and multiply that times 69 to get the number of miles per degree. So it goes from 69 to 68 down towards 0, I guess, toward the poles.
It becomes 0 at the pole.
At the pole, it'd be like cosine of 90. Because the poles are like 90 degrees north and south, and the cosine of 90, I believe, is 0.
I can confirm that.
So it will dwindle down from 69
cosine
down
of 180,
to
man.
The cosine of 180?
I'm just joking. I'm just joking. They're both 0.
Well, the cosine of 90 is 0. You'd have to go 180 degrees to the other side to get 0 again. So that would be 270. I think the cosine of 180 is 1. -1, I'm sorry, -1.
-1.
Because basically when you're looking at cosine and sine, they're basically XY coordinates on the unit circle, which has a radius of 1. And you take that radius of 1 and rotate it 360 degrees to get the XY coordinates that give you your sine and cosine. When you rotate that 1 degree radius and get an angle from the x-axis up and down. So if you rotate that radius of 30 degrees up, you get xy coordinates for where that radius of 1 rotates up 30 degrees, and those xy coordinates on the unit circle would give you your cosine sine relationship. And so at 0, 1, 0 going up 1, you get a cosine of 0 and a sine of 1 for 90 degrees when you rotate that.
Wait a minute. Wait, Lemon. Is the cosine of the cosine of 120 would be negative 0.5? Is that what you're saying?
120 degrees, you take the radius of 1, rotate it 120 degrees over into the left quadrant, the upper left quadrant. It would be like, I'd have to look at the calculator. It's one of those special angles. It's like units of 30, so I'd have to look.
Negative 0.5 then.
0.5, yep. Negative 0.5.
30, 60, 30, 60 give you 90. So if you're going to 120, it's like 90 plus 30 degrees. And if you go 60 degrees off of the x-axis in the other direction, it would basically be like 60 degrees just in the other direction. When you take 60 degrees in that special 30, 60, 90 triangle, the sides are 1 square root of 3 and 2. And so if you're taking the cosine of that, it would be like 1 over 2. So I think it would be half.
It'd be switched then. Yeah, half.
I believe it would be 1 over 2, but I may be wrong. So I think if you're taking the cosine of 120, it would be like negative 1 over 2.
0.5.
Yeah, negative 0.5. Right.
I believe so. Because in the 30, 60, 90 triangle where they get those simplified numbers for the ratios, the cosine would be 1 with the side of 1 being right next to 60, and the hypotenuse would be 2. So it should be 1 over 2.
So getting back to the point though, so as we go further north, the miles per degree, they shrink. Like, so that goes with a flat Earth or a globe Earth, I reckon, in the northern hemisphere, if you consider the fact that the circles around Polaris are getting tighter and tighter. I'm not saying it all matches up exact, but I'm just saying as far as the general principle that the circle. Somebody needs to mute.
Oh, see, yeah.
Somebody's got a siren in the background.
Sorry, I'm in Florida. You know how it goes.
So it would basically go from 69 miles per degree at the fattest point at the equator, ideally, and taper down to 0 at the poles.
To 0 at the poles, right?
50, 0 per degree.
But so in the southern hemisphere, is the same thing happening with the stars? Are they tapering down also? So, like, say if we go down to, I mean, I know there's no life or towns or anything lower than about 40 degrees south, but it should still be recognized. So at 40 degrees south, are the angles of the stars less like they are in the north?
I think we idealize that being the case in our mind. That's what we would like to occur, but in actuality, I think they say that the stars go over a greater longitude and have much wider, more sweeping arcs down there, as if it's going over more land than in the north. So I think ideally we say that it's a mirror of what's happening in the northern hemisphere, but in actuality, that's not the case.
In actuality, that's exactly the case.
Is that what we see, Blue?
Yep, it is.
Because Robotham and Dubé were talking about how you can see stars up to 80 degrees of latitude. There doesn't appear to be this hump of Earth curve that's, in the way between you and the star. You see it up to 80 degrees of latitude, past this supposed hump, whereas you'd expect, this hump to be in the way.
You just don't see that. That's fiction. It's just people making stuff up, Lemon. You don't see Polaris south of the equator.
You do by degrees for sure.
In some locations, if you've got enough altitude, you might see Polaris.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Blue. Have you ever seen one of the time lapses of the stars timed and gridded out? In other words, like 1 hour from zenith, they take a star and they go 0 hours directly overhead zenith, and then 1 hour later they plot 15 degrees and the star's right there at 15 degrees, right? And then 2 hours later, they draw a line on the screen at 30 degrees. But as it gets below, right when it gets to 60 degrees, it starts slowing down and the lines don't match. It's not linear. Have you ever seen a time lapse of or a graph of this? And if you have, what is the heliocentric excuse for this?
You're talking about when objects get really close to the horizon?
I mean, not even that close. They start deviating about, closer, yeah. But, around 60 degrees, they start slowing down. For the last 30 degrees, that's not exactly on the horizon, I wouldn't say.
Well, you're going to get that effect, and I'm not sure where it starts at, Brian, honestly. But you're going to get that effect just because the further down it goes, the more atmosphere you're looking through, and the more refraction you're encountering. Right at the horizon, it's more than half a degree.
I got a super chat. Can I read it really quick over here? Earth is live with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please ask Brian why he has been ignoring my direct messages in Discord. Have you been ignoring Earth is live? He want to have a conversation with you, Brian.
I haven't been on Discord. Hold on a second.
All right. Shout out to 2828. Haven't seen you in a little while. I'm trying to get images that I visualize the participants in, and I'm putting them up as we talk, Right now I got on screen, I'm the baddest motherfucker, me slapping Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson is saying, I'm the baddest motherfucker, and I'm going behind him, whoosh, smack him in the head. No, I am, Big Blue is a bad motherfucker looking like ape with a like an AK-47 and machine gun. Every time he talks, that comes on screen. We got a Pac-Man, human-like looking Pac-Man going waka 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 when Lemon speaks, and we got the kid of Have you ever had a dream that every time Brian Nick speaks. I'm trying to get it. I'm trying.
Well, Dubé and Robotham talk about seeing stars in the northern and southern hemisphere, but there's supposed to be this hump of Earth curve, in the way. So if you're at like 30 degrees north latitude, there should be a hump of Earth curve about 30 degrees away from you that's blocking what's beyond in the southern hemisphere. So they're talking about seeing stars 70, 80 degrees of latitude as if this hump of Earth curve is not in the way from the north and the southern hemisphere, as if the, supposed sphericity of the Earth as a ball shape isn't even really a thing. There's no hump of Earth curve in the way blocking what's beyond. So how are we on a ball at all?
You're not. I'm not finding that at all. You're not looking the other direction there. You're looking overhead.
Well, you'd have to look up to see like a star that's right overhead at noon or something like that. And then if somebody was on the ball trying to see that same star more than 45 degrees away, say, they'd have to see over the hump of Earth curvature. Because if you take a line and go straight overhead to, zenith, take a line going straight through the center of the Earth, straight through you up overhead. Okay. Now you try to take a line that's like more than 45 degrees away, going through the center of the Earth, up through that observer who's more than 45 degrees away, and then you try to connect them. you have to
Well,
go through the ball of the Earth.
If they're below the
It leads
equator, it's not
to
going to
going
matter.
through this hump of Earth curvature for you to see the same object and make a triangle. So geometrically, it just doesn't make sense.
If they're south of the equator, it doesn't matter. They won't be able to see it anyhow.
Thank you, Tweet.
But
Love you too. Good.
But if you're at 45 degrees north and somebody's at 45 degrees south, you're looking straight overhead. They're looking straight overhead. You're basically
different stars.
45, 90 degrees perpendicular to each other. There's no way you'd see the same object, at least by looking overhead. You'd be looking up overhead at 45 degrees north. They'd be looking straight up ahead at 45 degrees south. There'd be a 90-degree, corner between you two from the center of the Earth to both observers pointing straight out through the center of the Earth. It just doesn't make geometric sense.
They're not looking at the same stars, Lemon.
The same object if they were within 45 degrees of each other. After that, you're going to have to peer around a hump of Earth curve and be looking in a totally different direction.
Blue, you want to take this one?
It just doesn't make
degrees, you can still see it.
It just doesn't make geometric sense. You'd be at 90 degrees in opposition.
They're not looking at the same stars.
Give us a picture of it.
So how are they looking at the same constellation within 80 degrees of latitude? That doesn't make sense. Anything beyond 45 degrees is just, no, it's not happening.
There's northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere have two sets of stars.
So, yeah, Lemon, could you draw that out for us? I've never seen your art before. I'm imagining something like Salvador Dali.
It's basically like I'm looking in one direction. We're standing next to each other, and you're 90 degrees rotated from me, and you're right next to me, but you're rotated to say the right 90 degrees. You're looking off in one direction. I'm looking off in another direction. We're not looking at the same star. The only way that we could even begin to be looking at the same thing is if you're rotated no more than 45 degrees away from me. That way we can at least see the same object. But even then, we can't even say that we're looking at the same object at zenith overhead, because for us to see the same thing, overhead, I mean, it doesn't make sense past 45 degrees.
Say we're looking at the same stars.
That does not make any sense. If you look at a star from 90 degrees from zenith, you can see it on the horizon. So what are you on about by 45 degrees? You can still see it clearly.
He's talking about one person in the northern hemisphere and the other person in the southern hemisphere.
Well, now you have that hump of Earth curve in the way. And so beyond 45 degrees, you would expect the hump of Earth curve to rise up effectively, quote unquote, and obstruct what is beyond over the ball. You'd have this huge hump of Earth curve in the way. So people can't even conceive of this even being a thing beyond like 45 degrees. It just doesn't make any sense.
That will only make...
Is hump, when you say hump and curve, are you saying, is that redundant? Are you being redundant, or are those two different things?
You only will make sense if with that calculation, if the star is very, very close to Earth, and it's not. So you actually can still see it from 90 degrees off your zenith. So you're talking nonsense.
But you're just adding a bunch of distance and saying it somehow works. Geometrically, it still doesn't make any sense. There would be a hump of Earth curve in the way, at least at like 45 degrees away, one would assume, if the curvature of the Earth is of any sort of real consequence. That doesn't make
No,
sense.
it's not.
Sorry, is it a hump of Earth curve or a curve of Earth hump? I'm not understanding why the need to be redundant. Could you explain the difference, please, between curve and hump, or are they synonyms? I'm confused.
Hump, if you will.
I'm a little confused. Maybe I'm coming in late, so. But if you're talking about a ball, what is this 45-degree angle thing that you're speaking of? Because let's take two balls, one a million miles away, and what angle should you be able to see that ball as it progresses around? It'll be way more than 45 degrees, and just geometrically speaking.
Well, if we're trying to draw a line of sight to the thing that we're seeing, through the hump of Earth curvature, beyond 45 degrees of hump, you would have to effectively look through the ball to see the same object. And
well,
so
actually, do the math on this.
Considerations say that eventually the hump of Earth curve would be in the way, obstructing the same object that you're trying to view as the second observer beyond, say, 45 degrees of Earth curvature, you would have to effectively look through the Earth to geometrically see the object at the same time.
You think that would happen at 1,000,000 miles?
It would happen at 1,000,000 miles. Eventually, the Earth's curvature would get in the way.
Yes, eventually, but not at 45 degrees.
No, at 90, past 90.
You're going to get to about 90, give or take a little bit. At about 1,000,000 miles, you could be within a degree of 90.
If you're both trying to look at the same object at the same time past 90 degrees, fine. But it's the same as me looking out at straight ahead and then you being right next to me, rotated 90 degrees to the right, trying to look off in another direction. That's what it's like to try to look 90 degrees over the ball. Now add a hump of Earth curvature between you and me. If I'm going to try to see the same object as you, now I have to not only rotate towards you, but I have to rotate towards you and look through the ball of Earth curvature to even begin to see the same object that you're looking at when you're looking 90 degrees off in another direction. Geometric considerations say that there would be a hump of Earth curve in the way eventually.
So what you're doing is you're putting us at 45 and 90 degrees.
Yeah, at least at 45 degrees, we have somewhat of a possibility of looking at the same object without the hump of Earth curve just getting in the way of the observation and me having to look through the Earth to see the same thing that you're seeing.
You have to be You have to be in the northern hemisphere, period, to see the same stars, or in the southern hemisphere, period, to see the same stars. You can't be in both.
But there are constellations that are visible from both hemispheres.
But they're not,
80,
they
70
are, but they're
degrees
not the
according
same
to Global
skies.
Document today.
You may get
So
a
it's
little
making
bit.
this Earth curve of little to no consequence, like you can just peer right through it as if it's not there.
If that constellation is over the equator, but if it's not over the equator, then no.
And there is a little bit of a nuance in that there is refraction, so you can see up to about a half a degree beyond that, I would guess. But it's going to be in the murky, right by the horizon zone where, I don't know if I'd give any credibility to it. But, you get to 89 degrees, 70, 60, you're going to be fine. Even, from 89 on, you'll be able to see everything you need to.
Well, these sorts of geometric considerations for the geometry and how you'd have to effectively look through the Earth made people, seriously look into the flat Earth as a thing instead of this geometric ball.
Well, you have it. Mm-hmm.
Well, why is it that, like everything, that makes you question it, you never actually look into?
Mm-hmm. It's so hard to deal with him because he just will not. Actually, he knows what it is. He just won't do it.
Are you saying that he's a fake flat earther?
No, I'm saying he's a stubborn.
Well, by definition, they all are because the Earth's
Yeah.
there's no such.
Hey,
thing.
Jose, yeah. Hey, sorry, farmer.
I'm gonna go for it.
Well, I was gonna say, are y'all ready for? You want the $500 word of the day?
Well, go for it.
Sesquipedalian.
Repeat that.
Yes.
Sesquipedalian. I'm sure with farmer's dulcet tones, he could read the definition for us. But basically, it's used being too wordy, too many syllables, being redundant for no purpose other than to put yourself above the other. For example, saying things like hump and curve together.
Nice. Sesquipedalian.
And salad.
Yeah, and then changing it to hump of curvature. That's very sesquipedalian.
Yes, long polysyllabic. Likes to use long words where they're just really not needed.
Today is the first day
in English. In English, that can indicate deception.
I gotta announce this. Important. It's the first time in months, probably months, that we're gonna have a lot of heavy rain and thunderstorms today. And it already is a little bit windy. It's already started raining, not too heavy, but I think I was told that it's gonna be heavy rain and thunderstorms today. So I don't know. I'm gonna stay a little bit longer. If it gets really, really heavy, then I'll do a quick wrap up the show before
CGI
shut down.
You don't have to worry about it.
I wanted to finish my line of questioning before the
Go for it. Yeah.
you know, the So does the sun basically does the moon follow the basic? I mean, for the all intents and purposes, does the moon follow
Hey.
the path of the
Wait.
stars?
No.
Nope.
Does the sun track the same path as the stars?
The sun is a star.
And it's stationary. Well, to us it is. In the universe, it's not.
Pretty much, the moon doesn't move enough to not track the same as the stars, right?
Well, the moon is orbiting us. The stars are not.
Yeah.
Per day, I mean.
The sun and moon. The sun and moon have variation day by day.
Right,
Whereas
but for
the
a
stars
12-hour
are pretty uniform over their position on the ground, if I'm not mistaken.
For a 12-hour, let's say for a 12-hour time lapse, there wouldn't be very much of a difference to speak of, would there be?
Oh, with the moon, certainly.
And for 12 hours, it differ that much from the stars?
Not 12 hours. 1 hour is enough. You will see stars moving behind the moon.
Okay, what about the sun? For a 12-hour time lapse, would it take the same path per latitude?
I didn't get the question.
Would the sun, would a 12-hour time lapse of the sun, if we left it on screen for nighttime, at whatever latitude it was at, would it track the same direction as the stars at that latitude?
Look at it.
I'm trying to decode what you're saying. I'm just not getting it.
I would say in 12 hours, you wouldn't be able to notice that much of a difference.
So it would pretty much track pretty much the same as the stars then, right?
Yes, in relation to the background stars, yes, it would pretty much be the same. You wouldn't be able to detect it. Now, over a few months, yes, you would be able to.
So the stars have to be, I mean, that would lay claim to Robotham is pretty much right then. The stars are sweeping further in the southern hemisphere because the sun does, day to day in the Analema.
Let me throw this big shout out really quick to Tommy Grumble. Tommy Grumble, you the man. Thank you for the super chat. 50 Nokias. And the Oscar for the director of the evening goes to Jose. Thank you very much, Tommy Grumble. I appreciate your support. You see what I'm doing over here, bro? This is hard work, brother. Thank you very much.
I think that was rigged.
I'm
going to see the revotes.
Yeah, I'll try to stay on mute
Recount.
because just in case, a little bit of a hot mic, so I'll mute myself.
You recount on that, please. I don't know if you're if all the votes went to you or not.
What was that?
Jose just named himself the winner. We don't really know for sure.
Well, does anybody think this is actually a democracy?
And we just had to throw that in there. Okay, fine.
Does anybody want to answer?
Really, no. They'll make a record in the minutes.
I'll figure that out.
Does anybody want to respond to that? That the stars are making bigger loops in the south, according if they're following the sun, pretty much for for all intensive purposes, day to day, just 12-hour time lapse. The sun is making bigger arcs in the southern hemisphere using the analemma to back that up. So the stars would have to do one of two things. They would have to deviate from the sun in the southern hemisphere, or make wider sweeping circles in the southern hemisphere,
But
like the analemma dictates.
They're not moving in relation to the sun.
No.
No, but I'm comparing them to the sun because I've never looked at a stellar analemma, but just going for 12-hour time lapses in the north, I don't think anybody would argue that for a 12-hour time lapse at whatever given latitude in northern summer, that if you match a star up to the same latitude as the sun, the paths are going to match. Okay. Now, in the southern hemisphere, the sun is making larger, a sweeping arc.
Is it?
Backed up by the analemma. Yeah, backed up by the analemma. It most certainly does, according to the analemma. It makes a larger sweeping arc. Whether it's going faster, who knows? But it's definitely, the analemma is wider in the south by about 45%. So if so one of two things would have to happen. Either the stars would have to match the sun in the southern hemisphere, or they would have to deviate from the sun, or they'd have to make larger sweeping arcs in the south. So one of two.
No, you're not making any sense, because the sun is moving the same way in the northern hemisphere than in the southern hemisphere. So I don't
That
know
is
what you're talking
incorrect.
about.
That is incorrect. The analemma is what we see from the ground. Despite what anything is doing, what we see from the ground is how we chart the analemma. So let me word this a little bit different. Okay? In this, would you say that the sun tracks in the southern hemisphere's summer would track exactly with the 12-hour time lapse with the stars the same way it does in the north?
I'm going to say they make different arcs. So the stars are following the Earth's rotation. The sun position will change based upon how the year progresses, but the stars always remain fixed in their latitude. Yeah, fixed in their latitude roughly. The sun varies in its latitude.
So you'd say that the stars deviate from the sun in the south?
All over.
Also in the north.
No, everyone see the same analemma.
No, we see the same analemma. Well, actually, I'm
we
not sure about that. But I'm saying that the path of the sun. This is where I'm not sure what he's asking is. He's saying, does it change? They follow a different arc, is what I would say. That's just on a nightly basis, because the sun varies with reference to its latitude every day. The stars are fixed to their latitude, so they have
right.
to.
That's why I'm comparing. That's why I'm taking a star equivalent to the sun's latitude at the time of the observation. So there's no confusion there.
Okay, I think what you're asking is, no, there won't be any star analemmas.
No, that's why I'm saying in a 12-hour time lapse, okay? You're not going to get an analemma in 12 hours. And that's why I'm also saying per observation. So wherever the sun's at for that time, you'd have to compare it to a star at that latitude for that 12 hours.
Yes, but what I'm saying is there is no star analemma. If you took
I
one
know
picture
that.
of it a day,
You can't get an analemma in 12 hours, bud.
If you take one picture of a star every day and you take it at the same time, you will not see the analemma of those stars. It will always appear in the same spot, same dot, same time.
No,
no, they won't.
You can't get analemma in 12 hours, bro. That's why I'm saying that wherever the sun is at are the stars following that particular the star at the latitude where the sun is at the time of the observation, the 12 hours of the observation?
No.
In the north, if we take a star at the same latitude, I know that the sun varies. Okay, so I'm just doing it in one day, 12-hour span, and so if we take the path of the stars that match the sun's latitude at that time in the northern hemisphere, it's going to match the star's path is going to match the sun's path
different arcs.
in 12 hours.
They'll follow different arcs.
When you won't be able to see the sun in a certain
Wait a minute. Wait. I gotta pin him down. Okay, so the sun in 12 hours is going to follow a different arc than a star at the same latitude in 12 hours.
So I'm sitting in one latitude and I've got my time-lapse camera going. That's what you're talking about, right?
I'm asking if a star at the same latitude as the sun, day by day. I know the star's not going to follow the sun. So you're going to have to pick a different star every day. But pick a star at the exact latitude of the sun, day by day, okay? You're saying that they're not going to match.
Well, first off, we don't see stars during the time when we see the sun. So
that's why I'm going 12 hours, man.
But
brother.
Of course, it won't match because we revolve around the sun, and we do not revolve around the other stars like we revolve around our own star.
That's why I'm picking 12 hours, man.
Okay, I think the question is, if I understand correctly, can I check? The question is basically whether, if we look at the rotation of the sky, if the stars rotate at the same speed as the sun, is that the question?
Yes, and take the same path.
Okay, so not quite, because the stars basically on the scale of a day are we can say they are stationary in the sky. So basically one circle around the Earth, if you look from the point of view of the surface, takes the length of the sidereal day.
You don't have to teach me the heliocentric model.
Minutes.
Look, we're not going to notice 1/360th of deviation in a time lapse, are we?
Yeah, we won't. So yeah, but basically that's what causes the analemma. So basically what causes the analemma is that when you take the sun, it actually moves slightly with respect to the background stars during one day, right? Because
so you would say that it does match. So you would say that for the most part, other than the 1/360th, you'd say that a star at the same latitude as the sun that night, we track the sun during the day for 12 hours. We do a time lapse that same night. Mm-hmm. Okay, I know it's going to differ day to day to day to day, but that same night, we pick a star at that latitude, we're going to get the same motion, basically the same time, same motion for the most part, other than the 1/360th percent deviation.
Yeah, okay, so if I understand you correctly, then yes.
Yeah, right, so that other guy says no, and you say yes, so if y'all want to work that out, and I'll know who to focus on.
Apart from that small difference, it's not exactly the same, but there will be this slight difference because of the movement of the sun along the ecliptic. And
right, it'd be unnoticeable in a 12-hour. It'd be unnoticeable in 12 hours. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, pretty much. It depends on what accuracy you would have the. Yeah.
You never see a star.
How accurate would be your photo? Yeah.
Can I make it very simple?
Who's echoing?
If you're sitting in a car and look to your left or your right, doesn't matter. Everything that is close by is moving quite quickly. Everything in the distance looks like it's standing still, but still everything moves at the same speed. But because of it's close by, you're passing it quicker, and so everything in the distance looks like it's standing still, but you pass it in the same speed. That's how it works with the sun and the stars as well, because the sun is the closest star, and the other stars are very, very far away. So they look like they're not moving as quickly as we move past the sun.
So you say So now you're saying that they would not follow the same path, and apparently, it would be a different path and a different speed, apparently, in a 12-hour observation.
They will look different, yes. But what you said, that it's different, the sun is making a bigger arc in the north and the south, that's total bullshit.
Look at the Analema. It's obviously making a bigger arc.
But the
Now we're back to
Analema is caused
Analema.
precisely by this 1 degree or something difference during the day. So basically, because the sun
that's why I was
moves a
using
bit
Look, I
along
was
the
using the
ecliptic.
Analema just to describe the bigger arc in the south. That's all. I'm not comparing that to the stars. I know there's no Analema for the stars.
Exactly the same.
As far as the sun goes, there's a larger looping arc in the south.
No,
by 40 to 45%.
Guys, I need to get a shout out.
Solar Analema in the north and the south are the same. They're just different in orientation. You get it the other
but he
way
means a
around in the
different
southern
thing. So-
hemisphere that you do to the north, but it's the same
In the-
size. It's all the same. It's just turned around.
I need to get it. I need
Yeah, but
to.
farmers
I need to
might-
get 10 seconds, brother. 10 seconds. I need to get a shout out to John Watson with a £5 super chat. John Watson says, Brian, get a book on basic astronomy. Open it, read it, and try not to blush. Damn! Shout out to John Watson. That's funny.
That's cool, man. I mean, that's been what I'm studying. Excuse me. And I'm I'd like to hear John because I'm getting conflicting answers from heliocentric supporters right here. I don't see why in the north or at the equator the 12-hour time lapse would be any different as far as to the observable eye in a time lapse, why the speed and the motion would be any different. So I agree with the guy.
All right. And I got one more comment to read. This one is just a quick comment by Anamorphic Mind with a big $5 super chat. And Anamorphic Mind have some words. Narcissist, narcissist, narcissist. Oh, look, Gary's here. Damn, you summoned Gary with those words, Anamorphic Mind. Thank you so much, brother. Go ahead, carry on.
All right. The thing that I think the reason you're getting so many answers is because your question is, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's hard to understand what you're actually asking.
I'm trying to get to a point, but I gotta get consensus, and I'm getting before I can even get to my point. I still haven't got to my point yet, to be honest. But what I'm trying to get consensus on is that in a time lapse, just 12 hours, just one day, a star, just so everybody's clear, a star at the exact latitude of the sun for that day, and that day only, would match for the most part, 99.5% would match the direction and the speed of the star. I don't see why anybody would conflict that, except for to get ridiculous technical, which is why I'm saying for the most part.
Where I see it going apart, and this is what I mean, I might be wrong because I'm not really a stellar guy, but when the sun, like near Australia, so we'll take Australia as an observation point, we see the sun rise in the south and set in the south. Now, I don't think the stars follow that same path, so they're on different arcs.
Right, in the south they are. That's what I'm trying. That's the point I'm trying to make. That in the south, if the globe model was accurate, that's my point. And contest it if you want, but let me make it. In the south, they do not match the sun.
There's an equivalent point in the
they
north
do.
that does the same thing, where the sun rises in the wrong place in the north.
On a globe, they should. They should do the same thing in the north as they do in the south for 12 hours.
They do.
Okay,
But the stars at the same declination as the sun do follow the same path, except for this small deviation caused by the motion along the ecliptic. And
Exactly.
I think, by latitude, Brian, leaky means declination. Basically.
I mean, just for 12 hours, though. Just for 12 hours.
You've
You
made
can
the
keep changing
presumption that
stars.
they behave differently in the southern hemisphere. They don't.
He just said they did from Australia.
But Farmer's Boy, the thing he was talking about, the analemma being different in the south and in the north, it's not about the analemma as a whole being different, as I understand it. What he means is the analemma has like two halves, the like bottom half and upper half, or northern half and southern half, right? And the southern half is wider than the northern half, because basically it would be perfectly symmetrical if Earth's orbit was circular, but because it's elliptical, we move slightly faster in northern winter. So basically, when the sun is in the southern declinations, the deviations are slightly larger, and this causes the analemma to become wider.
Okay, I think
that's what he meant.
I need a minute.
The only difference between go on then.
I need a minute. I'm sorry, man, but this is a big super chat today. It's a $10 ones by Earth is Life. Thank you very much for your support, brother. Appreciate it. Brian, there are many videos explaining the analemma in detail. Do your research, watch them, compare them to the model, and see if it matches. And stop listening to other flat earthers. Thank you very much.
My own thoughts. Let me respond to that directly. I have been researching that, and I've seen the moon analemma to the best of the ability of what they can get and put it together. It matches the sun analemma, but the sun analemma is described, the deviation from the north and the south is described by the elliptical orbit. But here's a big problem with that. The elliptical orbit only deviates by 3 million miles. It's not even 5%. I mean, it's like you're talking between 90 and 93 million miles. So you're talking what percentage would that be? Like 2%?
Yeah, but it still makes a difference.
But the as far as the analemma goes, it's differs by like 40%.
Depends on the time of year.
What 40%? What are you talking about? There's
Look at the spread of the analemma.
Degrees.
Look at the spread of the analemma. Okay?
Yeah,
it doesn't deviate by only 3%.
Hello,
what I'm saying.
Brian,
It's way more than
degrees.
3%.
You see 176 to 184. That's 8 degrees.
What are you talking about? What?
The problem here is that the difference between...
How much 8 degrees of 360? Can you tell me?
Say that again?
At 140. Check the post at 40 after.
Yeah, he's breaking up. If you can repeat that real quick so I can respond
The
to Chucky.
deviation
I didn't hear you.
inside of 108 degrees is only about 4 degrees each way.
Total of 8.
It's not 40 degrees. It's not 45 degrees. It's if you
No,
count.
okay, how about this? How about this? No.
But he says the bottom part is about 40% wider than the top part, and in that it's quite right.
Right. So here's the thing.
In the winter,
you have a spread. Hold on, you have a spread of about. If you're going by, let's just look. If we're going by the longitude, okay, or from whatever latitude line, you're looking at about. Let's see, you're looking at about 6 degrees of spread in the south, and you're looking at about 11 or 12 degrees in the north. You're looking at about 5 or 6 degrees. In the south, you're looking at about 11 degrees of spread.
You're looking at about 8.
It's about a 40% difference, man. Okay, it's not twice as much.
Of how many degrees?
About 5-6 degrees.
Yeah, so that's not much, is it? You're saying it's 40%, but 40% of bugger all, still bugger all.
It's almost twice as big in the south.
Yeah, but you're still talking a few degrees. You're not talking, 20, 30, 40 degrees.
Those few degrees cover a lot of miles.
No. You start.
No, they don't, because it's only 0.
Things far away in the sky cover a lot of miles in a
I know, I
short
wasn't
space.
talking, Gary. I wasn't.
The math doesn't match, Chikey. Chikey, do the math.
So I'm telling you, if you do the calculation, it's about 0.1 degree per day. Right?
Right. I understand that. But as far as the analemma goes, the percentages, they don't. the percentages don't match the
6.9
math.
assumption that the percentages, the
6.9
assumption that the
miles.
percentages should match is wrong, because it's not a direct relationship. It's not like because we have like 3% change in the distance from the sun, then the difference between the parts of the analemma should also be 3%. It's not directly related, so
No.
it's a bit more complex than that.
I agree.
So
I
basically
agree
what
with
we
that
get from the
100%. It's
debate,
worth looking into, you know, instead of just trying to answer it like they're trying to do, basically, without thinking about it, without looking into it. They're trying to just come up with an answer out loud that suits them in their own head, but
Yeah,
there
whatever,
seems to be a
projecting.
mismatch in the mathematics, man.
There isn't.
it's
No,
not
that you'd
though.
have to show us
the
the mismatch
analemma
in
is,
mathematics. I don't see
you can
mathematical,
calculate the analemma
inconsistency
perfectly
at all.
from the heliocentric model. I could do that for you if you want.
Really quick.
The moon analemma
Brian,
matches
how
the sun's.
exactly- Yeah, just talk over me, Gary. Brian, how exactly have you been looking? Like, have you used a physical model or some kind of model to actually test whether or not the analemma should look the way it does on a globe model?
I'm just looking at the globe here right now as we speak, and you have 15 degrees spread of the longitude lines, and in the south it goes all the way almost from end to end. It hits almost there's a degree, maybe a degree and a half gap on each end, but in the middle it's it's at its widest point, I want to say, at its widest point. And another thing, in the south, the widest point is all the way down, just within a few degrees of where it takes its loop. In the north, the widest is about 10 degrees before it takes its loop. So that doesn't match. It doesn't match.
Brian, what I'm
Yeah, go ahead.
asking is, have you looked at an actual model? Like, I have a model, I have Space Engine, where I can actually go in and I can take a screenshot of the sun every single day for a year and see if it creates an analemma, which is based on a globe model.
Yeah, so if you're in the southern hemisphere, you get the same analemma as you do in the north, right? Everywhere you're at, basically on the globe.
I don't know. I can actually test it though. I can do one in the northern hemisphere and one in the southern hemisphere.
Where's Gary? Where's I heard Gary, I think,
Not change.
a minute ago.
Only thing I'll change is the day. I'll take a screenshot for 365 days at one position on Earth, looking at the sun at the same exact time every day.
Well, I was looking for your
Yeah,
image,
yeah.
Gary. I was looking for.
So you
I was
say
looking
you
for
agree
Gary's
that the
image before you
sun
speak. Sorry, go ahead.
And I can,
the sun never leaves the sun never apparently, okay, by all for appearances, apparently the sun does not leave the ecliptic. The farthest south it ever gets is the Tropic of Capricorn, and the farthest north it ever gets is the Tropic of Cancer, right? The sun stays in the ecliptic, correct?
yes, but Brian, listen. What I'm saying is, this is the level of testing you have to do. I'm using an actual globe model, which is pretty accurate for reality, and I'll take screenshots on each day at the same time and see if it creates an analemma.
You're defining how to do the analemma, man. You're backing us up a little bit, man. Hold on, let me make my point. Another point is, but I need for you to agree or disagree. Is the sun always apparently in the ecliptic, within the tropics,
Yes.
without exception?
I'm just saying no. I just said no.
Yes.
Who said no?
I said no. Because
You say no,
there's a shot of one of them.
I think you're kind of ignoring what I was saying.
So if I go 1 degree south of the Tropic of Capricorn, you mean to tell me that the sun could possibly be overhead?
Brian, listen. I can actually test this, okay? Which is
What?
with the model that I can actually test it with a model that's based on the globe model.
Okay. Well, what I want you to test, Bebo,
So,
is Huh?
What I'll do is I'll take a screenshot for 365 days.
No, you ain't got to do an analema, B-ball. This is what I want you to do. Listen, I'm sorry to interrupt, but look, this is a good test for you to do.
Right, hold on. This is exactly how we should test whether or not it looks.
You're about to explain doing the analema, bro. Go ahead. You explain it.
I'm sorry, say again?
All you're going to do is explain how to do the analema. But what I'm trying to get past that.
And we're
Okay.
trying to see exactly if it should look the way it does on a globe model, right?
It doesn't matter what model we're on. Look, if you take a picture, it doesn't matter what. We could be on a football. We're still gonna see the same. I mean, what we see in the sky is what we see in the sky, despite what we're on. You know, we start comparing it to models and see what works. That's fine. In Lima, it is what it is. It's a figure 8 with a small loop at the top and a bigger loop at the bottom. Okay. And now my question is, and here's what I want you to do, Bebop, if you have the time, is we've had conflicting answers here. So what I'd want you to do is do a 12-hour time lapse in the summer and in the winter, just a couple days, like once a month, and do a time lapse of the sun, and then pick a star at that latitude at night, and do a 12-hour time lapse of a star that matches the sun's exact latitude through all parts of the year. I'd like somebody in the south to do that as well.
Yeah, over a course of the year, you'll see a change. Is that you're saying here? Are you saying
Right, but night by night, we should not see a change. And that guy said Australia, the sun doesn't follow the same path as the stars. For 12 hours, it should always be relatively the same because the change is only 1/360th degree. You know?
Vivo, I got you a microphone. I got you at 200%, and it's still hard to hear you, man.
Yeah, because I'm using mine.
Yeah, I got you all the volume up, bro.
And maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but that's where the argument lies.
Okay.
Is with does it match? We're way better now, but does the sun match for 12 hours every part of the year in both southern and northern hemispheres? So it'd have to be checked.
Are you expecting to see a change over 12 hours?
Well, he said that in the southern hemisphere in Australia, the path of the sun doesn't match the path of the stars. According to the analema, to me, it would deviate. Okay? According to a globe model, in 12 hours, it would not.
You keep saying according to a globe model, but I don't think you've actually tested it on the globe model.
Wait.
You're making a lot of assumptions.
Well, no. If it's us that's rotating.
Go ahead, Trey.
Listen, Brian. Brian, the difference between sidereal day and the sun and our day, the sun day, is about one minute per day, right? About
almost 1,000 notifications.
1 degree, sorry, 1 degree per day. It's 1 degree. The difference in the analema, in the speed of the analema, is only 0.2 degrees per day. Maximum 0.1. So it's not enough. There will always be a difference between the sun and the stars. Always.
Yeah, where's Stingray when you need him?
Yep. So basically, the sun will move by I don't know, maybe between 0.4 and 0.6 of a degree during 12 hours. The difference between the sun path and the star path during 12 hours will be something between like 0.4 0.6 of a degree. Yeah.
No, 1.
1 in 24 hours, but in 12 hours it's half of that.
4 minutes is 1 degree.
Yeah, during 24 hours. But then we take. Brian wanted to take it over 12 hours, so then you have only 2 minutes difference, so half a degree.
But I don't think that's the question he's asking. I think he's asking about the arc of the path. Basically, is the sun following the exact same arc as the stars move?
Right. Yeah. So I understand his question of whether the sun will take the same arc as a star on the same declination as the sun on that day.
Day by day, it should match. So even in Australia, for 12 hours, I understand we'd have to change stars because the sun moves throughout the year, and I understand that little half a degree or 1 degree, but that's not going to be noticeable for the most part in a 12-hour time lapse. So we picked a star that matches the sun's exact latitude for that time lapse in that area, and from I've heard, it wasn't just from the other guy, but it was from other people that the stars do not follow the same path as the sun.
Have you tested this in Stellarium?
You had to do it over a year time frame.
No, well, it doesn't matter over a year. If you're going to do it,
that's how they get the analemma. Analemma's a whole year.
Yeah, I'm not talking about analemma. I was just using that for one more time for everybody who says analemma. I'm just using that to describe the path in the south, okay, from what it appears, okay, whether it's us moving or the sun moving. I'm just saying for what we see in the sky, okay. Don't worry about the ground. For what we see in the sky, anywhere on the earth, we do an analemma, you see a bigger loop in the south. Whether it can be explained in the Helios secret model, that's fine. What I'm talking about, but the analemma, I'm not talking about. This test I'm talking about has nothing to do with the analemma. I was just using that to describe it. Okay, it boils down to this. This is the sum of it, is that if it's us rotating, okay, on a day by day, pretty much, the path of the sun should not deviate from the stars in the southern hemisphere by more than half a degree or 1 degree.
Again, Brian, the difference between sidereal day and our clock is 3 minutes 56 seconds. That's almost 1 degree every day.
So not notice. So that's 1/360th of a circle. So not noticeable in a 1 day.
So every day you switch, the stars make that 1 degree less than the sun.
That's why we'd have to change stars all the time. Once again, I'm not talking about annually. I'm talking about just per day.
Per day, every day, one degree every day.
So would that make the sun on a given day dictate from the path of the star at that same point, that same latitude? So you're saying
always
that 3 minutes, that 1/2 of a degree would make the sun take a different path in 1 day?
No, the sun will be displaced 1 degree from the stars every day. We'll move ahead.
We got that. That's why we're changing the stars. And that's why we're doing a test for only 1 day. We're only doing a 12-hour time lapse. So you're talking half a degree of difference, which would be insignificant to I mean, would you agree, for the most part, it would be fairly noticeable in a time lapse for the direction and the speed, basically.
No, there wouldn't be. The difference will be between 1 degree and 0.9 degree. Not much difference.
I think you're saying the same thing pretty much.
Have you tried putting this into Stellarium and actually just doing it, Brian? Because that's the model.
That's why I want to do it from the ground. I want to do it from the ground because, I mean, Stellarium, when you start moving around and stuff, it's like you got to be drunk. It's not realistic. It's it contorts. It pretty much contorts the sky to try and match the ground. And I mean, if you've ever seen Stellarium, when you try and move around, it's like you've had too many to drink. It contorts and distorts reality. That's why I want to do it in reality with a 12-hour time lapse.
Don't they have different fields of view in Stellarium, so you don't have to use a wide-angle lens?
It's the same thing as like Google Maps. When you try and move and all that, or raise up, it starts. You hit a certain point and it changes and shit.
Right, that's because you're using.
I mean,
that's
it's
using a
very
perfectly
helpful.
wide field of view.
Go into a globe.
Not to mention, man, Stellarium. If you do the time and date thing, if you do Stellarium and try and match that up with like time and date and the sun
100% of the
tracking
time.
applications, they're going to give you magnetic declination, and I don't want that. I want a real life. I don't give a shit about magnetic declination. I want to track the path of the sun in the southern hemisphere. Just about once a month, and I want to do it in the north and do it at the equator.
Oh, then use
And
true north.
real
True
life,
True north
besides
is a-
magnetic declination, if it's us rotating, they should match. They should mirror each other.
Then
Exactly.
use true north. Don't use magnetic. Don't use a magnetic compass.
Say that again.
I said use true north, not a magnetic compass, because that way you'll eliminate any of the nuances of your setup.
Or just use an AE map, because that's the true north.
Well, AE map doesn't work at all, so I mean you can try that, but it wouldn't make any sense at all whatsoever. In the end of story.
Yeah, because true north in Australia is 11 degrees further to your left. If you're looking due east, okay, true north is like 11 to 13 degrees leftier. I'm saying.
True north, you can establish true north.
So the sun is technically coming. If you go by your compass, the sun is technically coming from where it shows on the AE map. But if you go to the sun tracking apps, okay, time and date and all these, then it doesn't tell you that they put in magnetic declination. And that's been checked and confirmed on site live with a compass during the
No. They
for the
don't
equinox.
put in magnetic declination. What they do is they tell you true north. True north.
No, they don't.
No,
they don't check it. No, he went out there, Mitch from Australia, with a compass, and it said the sun was going to rise due east, and it was off by 11 degrees according to the compass. And they said
that's true north.
They said that magnetic declination is figured in, so they adjust it
true
for
north.
you. They heliosynchronize the bitch for you in time
That's
and
called
date.
true north. True north is a fixed reference that everybody can go to, or you can use compasses with all their little declination problems. It bypasses that. All you have to do is know that it's true north, set your compass up, and then start working with the numbers.
So if true north is only
Or
true
you can
north
go
is
and use
only
the sun and look at its position when it's directly north of you. You now mark a place on the ground. That's true north. It's the same true north everybody would get every day of the year, no matter what device they're using.
if we're on a ball. Yeah,
No,
but
it's the same one. Everybody will get
only, hold on, true north is only a few hundred. Hold on, true north is only a few hundred miles from the North Pole. I mean, magnetic north is only a few hundred miles from true north. And you tell it to me that in mid North Australia or like mid northeastern Australia, 11 degrees is that would be way more than 300 miles if you're talking about true north. And it varies everywhere you go.
Blue got a hot mic.
Yes, it does. That's why we don't use magnetic north.
Blue have a hot mic, Blue.
That's why we don't learn orienteering from Mitchell from Australia.
Exactly.
Well, the point he made was a good point.
No, it's really a bad point. It's a horrible point.
What time and date showed us did not match.
Yes, it's called true north. Time and date gives you true north.
Yeah, but how are you going to compare if you're just out? If you're at your house, okay, with no time and date, no electronics, how are you going to figure? Okay, let's say it's the equinox. You're going to look at the sun, and you're going to say, okay, the sun rises due east on the equinox.
That's
good. That's what they told me. But if you get a compass and you figure out that, hey, wait a minute, it's not rising due east according to my compass.
That's
So
because your
I
compass is
guess
a
my
fallible
question
device subject
so
to.
if I'm going to stick to my model, I've got to disregard my compass and adjust it all over the earth, and then not tell
Brian,
people and put it in time and date and act
Brian,
like it's set. You know, it's
Brian,
model.
we have to do this in an airplane, Brian. And 11 degrees of declination is not that much. There are places where it's much more than that, more than 20 degrees of declination. It's a standard adjustment that we have to make flying an airplane when you look at your directional gyro compared to what the compass heading is.
Yeah, if you're mapping with longitude,
You're going to be off.
Yeah, if you're mapping with longitude, you better believe you'd have to do that, or yes, you would be off.
Yeah,
Brian. But for example,
so
if
the
you look
answer
at
to
the
your
sky
question
and
is no map out there is lined up on magnetics. It's lined up on true north. You've got to know what your magnetic declination is where you are. If you
for
don't
example,
know
look
that,
at Polaris in the northern hemisphere, then the compass won't always point towards Polaris. It will deviate by exactly the magnetic declination. Well,
That's
within
right.
half a degree, let's say.
That's how you find your magnetic declination. You got to look at Polaris and see which way the compass is pointing.
Or if you're in the southern hemisphere, you can look at the southern celestial pole. And if you try this in Australia, you would find that the needle of the compass points 11 degrees away from the southern celestial pole.
So you're trying to use the magnetic, and this is something flat earthers like to do, is they try and use the magnetic one because it raises all sorts of questions and confusion, and you have to understand what that declination means. And we have a fixed reference everybody can point to and get the same answer, and that's true north. You can identify it several ways by sun. When the sun passes north of you, it's at noon, it's north. That's north. If you're on the equinox, it's east. You can find east. Now you describe that on the ground. Now you know true north and east. You can find out your cardinal directions from that.
All right, I want to
But
say
then there are gyro compasses which always point to true north and true south.
I want to
That's
tell
true too.
I want to tell to everybody still listening here, 40 plus people watching. That's great. We've been on for a few hours now. I'm about to wrap it up. I'm gonna let it run maybe 10 or 15 more minutes. It's starting to pick up the rain. It's gonna get heavier. But if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please do so now. Remember to share the show and support if you can. Super chat or PayPal is the way. Or become a member. You can use some good emojis and other goodies. Shout out to everybody. There's the background noise of Florida. I go on mute. Remember, Earth is a globe. We got it on screen. There's an image of Earth over here. I want to share it because I still haven't gotten anything besides nah, it's fake, it's CGI, it's Photoshop. Nobody have given an explanation on how we got these hundreds of thousands of images of Earth from space, Boom. I'll go on mute.
Yeah, I just don't know why you wouldn't want to use the best method of finding direction rather than the worst one.
That guy said that the compass doesn't match Polaris in the north, and that is absolutely wrong.
Oh, it's right.
At least where I'm at, if or anywhere around me, if you
What's your declination?
you can always follow the if it's cloudy, and you're gonna be following you're gonna be heading toward Polaris.
What's your declination?
Yeah. What's your magnetic declination?
Let me check. I think it's like -7 or something.
Okay, so do you think that you'd notice 7 degrees? For your around the
Basically, the
town.
compass should point about
I'm getting
7 degrees
1,000
away
million
from Polaris
notifications,
for you.
man. I'm gonna have to respond as soon as these notifications are done, people.
You're about 5 degrees, Brian.
Oh, that's getting really close.
And where I am, it's even less.
Depending on the type of navigation you're doing with your compass, that's right on.
Have you ever looked at the country, the magnetic declination of the United States? It's like reverse. It's like reverse convexity. The way the lines sweep out from like toward the center, they sweep out in a way. It looks like they're like flattening a. Looks like the declination flattens a globe. Look at the declination for the whole country. It's interesting the way it sweeps
It doesn't.
down and out.
Welcome to the globe. That's what's the globe's clause in that?
No, it's reverse of that though.
No, not really.
It's interesting to look at. I'll say that. Anyway, before I can convert to any model, I need to know. There's some key points I need to know. Like, I need to know that the 12-hour time lapse in the south matches that of the north, and I want to study a little bit of Analema, which is a different topic, but I want to study the percentages because they don't seem to line up. But I did get some information that I will look into as far as the percentages, but I just to check them. If you look at
single location at noon every day for a year, that's how the Eminem was made. So how you compare that? How would you compare that to a 24-hour of a star or 12 hours of a star trails? That'd be really hard to do.
Yeah, but that's why it's a different subject. My subject with that is that the few percent that the sun, from 90 million to 93 million is like 4 to 5%, except the Analema, the loop in the south is almost twice as big. I'm not going to say it is twice as big, but it's almost twice as big, and it closes its loop. The loop when it starts to it goes from its widest to its circle back is a different rate, and it just seems to be more than that few percent. It's way more than that few percent. So I got to give you an explanation on that.
That's the year. The loop is the year.
So you say, Brian, you're looking to commit to a model. Maybe I can help. You could rule out the Gleason, unless you think that Australia is shaped like a banana. I mean, that's pretty easy. Just fly east to west, north to south, and Australia to rule out the Gleason.
Like a banana.
Yeah. It smashes the Gleason, the azimuthal equidistant map with North Pole at the center, mashes out Australia.
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
Yeah, he completely elongates it and makes it look far bigger than it actually is. Like
Longer,
really long.
Yeah, east to west. You can fly. What is it? Darwin to Adelaide and then Perth to Sydney, right?
Oh, that's because east to west. Map.
Figure it out.
Hold on. That's a muscle equidistant. So from north to south, it works good. But if you're talking east to west, then, it matches. It's elongated to match. So you got to equalize it. If you're talking about actual country size, then it's equal to the same width basically as the northern latitude line. It's azimuthal equidistant. So the azimuths match. They're equal. Even though the circle is bigger, it's drawn out. It's drawn out on paper to match the azimuth. They match.
So the ratio of east to west and north to south in Australia don't work out in reality.
So basically what that means is you pretty much take the let's say the latitude line's 10 degrees above the equator, okay? Then to make them equidistant, to make the azimuth equidistant is 10 degrees south of the equator, is basically representing the same size as 10 degrees north of the equator. And same thing with 20 degrees. So it's wider, but in reality, okay, and on that map, it's that's not the true shape of it down south. It's actually skinnier. The further south you go, the skinnier it is, according to that map.
So why is it that the globe?
that
Why is it
causes
the
a problem.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, getting skinnier, that causes a problem because the map makes it go out wider, not skinnier.
Yeah. Why
Yeah,
is
but
it
you
that
can much, but to make the azimuths equal, you got to converge them to match, right? So, in reality, well, here to sum it up, okay. In reality, it would be skinnier than it is on that than it is on the map. In
So
reality,
why should you need to make that adjustment when you just go by the globe model? It actually puts it at the correct size in relation to the ratio with the other countries because
it is
on
a
that
globe
particular
model.
map. What are you talking about? No, I'm talking about you're talking about the
AE map
Gleason's
is a
map.
globe model. It's a flat section of a globe.
The Gleason's map is a projection of the globe
with unequal azimuths. That it's. I mean, it equalizes the azimuths. Basically, it projects everything like a flat globe, and it pretty. If you converge them all on the rim, In other words, look. If you take Antarctica, the ring around the Earth, okay, on the AE map, and it converts to a continent. All the longitude lines, all the longitude lines converge mathematically to match the globe. AE, azimuthal equidistant, man.
AE is a projection of the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can't use that as a flat Earth map, can you? Because it doesn't work.
Not really.
I can't explain to you. No, exactly.
Yeah, you have to make some changes, man.
Changes.
I think Antonio Superats, man. I think the best flat Earth map that I've seen is.
How are you going to make those
Antonio
changes?
Superats.
How are you going to change the shape of Australia? How are you going to do that?
Yeah, you change the
what it
AE
is.
map by projecting it back into a sphere.
Okay, Brian, I'm going to go back on what I said earlier. I'm looking at Stellarium, and I'm showing it on. I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
All right, I'm going to step through time. Watch the relationship of Jupiter, the stars, and the sun. All these things around here. Wrong way. They never change with relationship to each other through the night on a daily basis.
Okay, that guy from Australia said here in the stars. That's what I'd like to see. I've gotten conflicting information on that, and I'm not gonna sit one or the other. I'd like to see some. It's a good one to do just to see and make sure, and then
Now,
we can take that information.
Obviously, there's one problem with that statement. You can never see this picture because it happens to be that we live in a world with a sky and the sun, and the two don't mix very well with stars. So we'd never see.
Yeah, that's why
Jupiter
what
and
you'd
the
have to
sun
do.
simultaneously.
What you'd have to do is pick a star at the latitude that where the sun was that day. And I'm not trying to get picky, like, hey, look, it's a speck off. I mean, for the most part, in one 24-hour day, a star at that exact latitude should match the direction and speed of the sun for that given day.
I don't know how you're going to pick your star, especially from a flat Earth perspective. But from this map, you'll see that the stars that start out like over here are going to sweep across the sky like this. So they're going to follow.
It doesn't matter what the shape of the Earth is for this, man. I mean, this can lead to some conclusions, or we could maybe draw some inferences. But basically, what we see in the sky is what we see in the sky, no matter what the shape of the ground is, whether it backs up a globe or a flat Earth. What we see in the sky is what we see in the sky. That's empirical, and that is what it is, right?
The sun is going to appear here again when I'm all done with this loop. There it is. Then it'll be slightly higher the next time around.
1 degree.
Have y'all seen? I'm gonna bring that video I have of the stars changing in speed. It's not just right on the horizon, it's lower to the horizon, but they start slowing down drastically at about, well,
3 degrees, 4 degrees.
or closer they get to the horizon, the more drastically slow down. But yeah, like 30 degrees, they start slowing down. It's pretty consistent, no matter where you're at or no matter when, of the rate that they slow down. And
Well, it's to be
and I know
expected.
the
I
globe
don't know.
has a reason for that, but it doesn't match the 1 degree or the 15 degrees per hour at all.
Really, at all? How
Okay,
much
hold
deviation
on,
are you
hold on.
seeing?
No,
Let me
not
share my
at all. That's why I'm gonna bring the video. It's a short video, and it got it graphed out with a time lapse, and no, not at all.
So I have something better. I have you see my screen?
Hold on, it's coming.
Do you see it, Brian?
Does it say map projection transitions?
Mine?
Yeah, what's it say on your screen?
This is Stellarium. And I'm looking, right, and the field of view is 1 degree. This whole circle we're looking through is 1 degree wide, right? Now let's see, I'm pointing on some star HIP 114310, whatever that is just touching the sun, right? Let's see how long it takes the sun to get out of our view. Okay. Now 10:28. That's the time. I'll start increasing the hours. So after 12 hours, right? It's now 10 p.m. The sun is almost out. Few more minutes. That's half a degree, right? From the center to the outside. The whole view is 1 degree. That's half a degree. Half a degree took it 10 hours and some minutes.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same. So that view we're seeing, that circle represents 1 degree.
1 degree.
Okay, so it's going to be the same, pretty much, for all intensive reasons, purposes.
Yeah.
The 12-hour path is going to be the same as the star that night, at the same latitude.
For that star, it will always be the same. The distance it will move away from the sun will vary during the year, right? Because we know the sun sometimes moves faster, sometimes slower, but it would be on the order of 0.1 degree per day. So that's not much. That's ground speed of 1 nautical mile per day.
Right, that ain't shit. That's not going to be noticeable day by day. But you agreed that somebody in here earlier said that the sun does appear out of the ecliptic, and I want to see if there's anybody else who would agree with that. Would you say that the sun always remains apparently what we see inside the tropics?
the ecliptic, inside the tropics. The equator would be the
In
ecliptic.
between, in other words, the farthest south it ever gets, apparently, is 24 degrees south during, for Capricorn, and 23.4 degrees north for Cancer. Would anybody, except for that one fella, that one guy said, yeah, we would. Would anybody agree with that, or would it always be inside of the ecliptic?
Well, you're using different terminologies then. You're saying inside the ecliptic, and then you're saying within the tropics.
Ecliptic, man. Inside the tropics is the ecliptic. Sorry, Jose.
No, inside the tropics is the edges. The ecliptic would be the equator, the equatorial, wouldn't it?
The ecliptic is simply a plane defined by the orbit of the Earth around the sun. That's the ecliptic.
Right, but that plane would come, if you extended the plane from the surface of the Earth, it would come across the equator, right? The Earth's ecliptic. Yeah.
So the ecliptic represents the Tropic of Cancer and Capricorn and everything in between.
No, if you were to cut the Earth in half and put a piece of plywood in between the two halves, that plywood represent the ecliptic.
So you don't think the eclipse represents in between the tropics?
The ecliptic is in between the tropics, but it's right in the center called the equator. The plane that extends out from the equator.
So would anybody argue, would anybody claim that we see the sun outside of tropics?
That depends on what you mean by outside of the tropics. Its ground position is always between.
Would you ever see the south? Would you ever see the sun directly above your head, south of Cancer or Capricorn and north of Cancer?
No.
Would you ever see the sun directly over your head?
No, never.
Okay. Now, so that means the farthest the sun appears to be is Capricorn. That's the farthest south we see, apparently. Okay. So when they say that the sun comes up from the southeast in Australia, then it would have to be outside of the ecliptic or lower than the.
No.
But to give.
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all. Because
yeah, you can tilt the globe whichever. If you tilt the globe, you're also tilting your latitude lines. You're tilting east with it. You could flip it upside down, and you're just flipping east right along with it.
It's gonna be south of east.
Are you accounting for the tilt of the Earth, Brian, in all these explanations? Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about. You can tilt it whatever way you want, but you're going to tilt east with it. East will tilt whatever way you want to tilt your globe. East will tilt right along with it. North, if you want to tilt it even further, and east is going to still be 90 degrees. It's just going to tilt further.
It's not going to be at 90.
Okay, but let's look at it this way. If you're on a globe and you're south of the Tropic of Capricorn and you start going directly east, let's say, then after some time this will take you through the tropic, through the equator, and through the Tropic of Cancer, because you will be traveling along a great circle. So basically, if the sun is, let's say, above the Tropic of Capricorn, it is very much possible that you will see it east of your position, because basically it means that the GP of the sun needs to be on the great circle that you would be traveling if you started directly east from your position. And it can also appear
Okay.
southeast of your position because it just means that it needs to be on the great circle that you would be traveling along if you started southeast from your position. So if you draw
So-
this, if you look at the great circles, then it's very much possible for the sun to be on the Tropic of Capricorn, for you to be south of the Tropic of Capricorn, and still look southeast towards the sun or southwest.
Okay, let me ask you a question then. Okay, so if the Earth wasn't tilted, if the Earth wasn't tilted and the sun was at the equator, then it's going to do a circle. Okay, and if the sun was straight up and down, 0 or 90 degrees, whichever way you want to look at it, would the sun come up southeast then?
I don't know. I don't know if this
No.
is necessary for. Yeah, I mean,
No.
it's a good exercise, but we should try to focus on reality on what happens. No, what if this? What if that? Let's try to wrap it up. In a good vibe today.
Yeah, okay.
You know.
I'm almost wrapping it up. I'm just asking questions because everybody says the tilt of the Earth, but if you look directly east, your latitude line from 23.4 degrees, if you're on Cancer and you look directly east, the Earth wasn't tilted. It's if you go directly east along the latitude line, it's parallel with the equator. Okay, and if you tilt the Earth 23.4 degrees, then east tilt with it, and east is still parallel with the equator. So if you are on Capricorn and you travel exactly east, forget declinations, forget compasses, just go exactly east and follow the latitude line. It's parallel to the equator. So you can tilt it whatever way you want. That line of latitude is going to tilt right along with it. Okay. It's easy, and I'm looking into it though, and I'm hearing everything y'all are saying. But to me, no matter what way you tilt it, you're just tilting the latitude with it. If east is not that latitude line, I don't know.
The point is, if you're looking directly east, you aren't really looking along the parallel, because it's not like a straight line. If you wanted to draw all the points you are looking towards on the surface of the Earth, that would be a great circle, and it would only start directly east, but then it would deviate to the north if you were in the southern hemisphere.
So
it's-
line of latitude is not a great circle.
No, it's not. Only on the equator.
One of them is, the equator.
Actually, I think
But none of the other ones are great. None of the other ones. All right, I got you.
Spider put up an image. I think might be helpful. A video, or he's sharing his screen.
So a great circle basically has
great circles
a
or
great, a
longitude?
great circle basically has to split the Earth in half, or it's not a great circle. Is that what y'all are saying?
That's right.
Exactly.
Lines of longitude are great
All right,
circles.
I see.
All right, I think we have reached the end of this one. It is getting a little bit more rainy than it was. Might have thunderstorms in here, first time in months, probably. And it was an excellent show. I enjoyed it a lot. Spent a few hours having fun. Big support via super chats on the YouTube land. And I got $10 by Humongous earlier on PayPal. That was great, man. I appreciate it. A lot of interaction, 44 likes, very good. And I encourage everybody to share the show so we get a fresh new audience over here, and hopefully we get a new voice joining the conversations in here. Moving on forward, that's the whole idea, to have people that don't know a lot about the topic pick on their brains a little bit, no matter for what side you're on. Interesting to have the conversations. See if moving forward in this 2022 we can have a little bit less animosity amongst us. There's no sides. There's just people with different points of view, and we should try to be a little more humble. Everybody not going in hard and attacking. Let's use more kindness to try to win the arguments instead of aggressiveness. You know what I mean? We can do this. We can have a nice, decent show and keep on rolling. I appreciate everybody for coming. Hit the like if you haven't done so. Remember, share the show. Support by checking the links in the description box. The first comment in the comment section will be pinned if the comment is alright and doesn't break YouTube rules. That's always a plus. Sean Hawkins won yesterday's comment within like 10 seconds after I put the show ended. That was great. That was good timing, man. Let's get a quick round of final thoughts. Everybody will have a chance to have your voice be heard. All right, alphabetical order. We'll do Six Spider because you're sharing the screen. You're in the top right there. Final thoughts. Big Blue. Final thoughts.
That was a nice, calm show today, Jose. Enjoyed it, and keep in mind you can never measure an angle greater than 60 degrees with a sextant. Shout out to Bev, who really ought to try thinking sometime.
Thank you very much, Blue. Appreciate it. Bro, Alem, final thoughts.
I know it's time, kind of at the end. We should clear up the distinction between the equator and the ecliptic. But yeah, we can talk about that later. Today, I discovered that we are looking for something. Is it the hump of Earth curvature or the curve of Earth humpature? Boom.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. We got Brian Leake back in the house. Final thoughts.
Yeah, man, that was a good show, man. Nothing got too heated, man. I got a lot of questions. I learned a couple things. I have some, to me, good questions still out on the table. A little experiment, probably worth, confirming or, however it turns out with the star trails. One other thing, as far as the sextant goes, man, the sextant means 1/6, and with the optics, you can mirror 120 degrees, but experienced navigator, and they use the sextant for between 30 degrees above the horizon and straight overhead. Basically, that's the for the most part, that's what the sextant is used for, is the 60 degrees. And the arc of the sextant is actual 60 degrees of a circle. Like I said, the optics mirror it to 120, but the definition of sextant is 6. So that's where Bev got that from.
That's what Bev got from.
No interruptions.
And one other thing, they used to have octants. Before sextants, they had octants, which was 1/8. And so if 1/8 of the circle, if you double that, you're way over 90. So why would they have ever need to improve the octant and come up with the sextant if they're already able to well more than from zenith to the horizon?
All right. Hey, thank you very much, Brian. Welcome anytime, man. Don't be a stranger. You're not coming in too often. We need you over here more often. Have a little bit of fun, man. C4, final thoughts. C4 having fun over here. Good times. Shaik, what do you have, sir?
Good show. To be honest, I was afraid we will be stuck with the sandwiches, but shout out to Brian Leakey and Lemon who saved the day. Thank you.
Excellent. Indeed. Hold on, final thoughts is, today was the day Brian learned what a great circle route is. Unfortunately, he will have forgotten it by tomorrow, though. Thank you very much. Hold on. That's funny. Komar, final thoughts. Fred the Magnificent.
Well, you got two things wrong today. A biscuit is from the French twice baked, and a Yorkshire pudding is called a pudding because it was a second and after. Well, there you go. Now you know.
Thank you very much for the info. Fun facts. All right. And you mute yourself for the hot mic. Good. Grubus, final thoughts.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of the show today. Like, but yeah, it was a bit weird. Like, I don't think you need to start a new channel though, Jose, like a biscuit channel or something. Where we can debate, where we can debate like what is
Food,
biscuit,
yeah.
what's the pastry, yeah, yes, food, a food channel,
Food
yes,
Network
exactly.
channel. I like that. I appreciate it, man. I
Take
still,
care, man.
yeah, I still owe the audience a whole show dedicated to food. Like I really do. Soon, man.
Yeah.
It could be food debate. We could argue about food. No, it's quinoa.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Grubus. Appreciate it. Feedback. Minus mushrooms. Final thoughts.
Okay, it's going to be a stretch here, but you take a big, thick sandwich. It's got a top bun, bottom bun, northern hemisphere, southern hemisphere. It's a sphere. Boom.
Boom. Thank you very much. Science set out. Do you have some final thoughts for us?
I had fun today, so thanks everyone for the chat.
I appreciate it. Good looking out, man. And Six Spider, no, he already spoke. Who did we miss? Somebody didn't say something. Well, that's me. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. Let me see if this works. Yeah, shout out to everybody. Thank you for watching. The audience can see me, can see the squeaky earth. We're gonna do a last squeak before it gets too wet and it doesn't squeak anymore. Here we go. Headphones warning. Whee! On the frog, all says, mob it, mob it, mob it, mob it, mob it. Thank you very much. Boom. Whee!